This is a Galactic Network podcast.
The Podcast of Terror is a show with adult themes, run by adults, for adults. Please do not have your children listen to this show. It might be beneficial to them in the long run, but please wait until they are older. This is one of those things. It's like when you laugh when you're playing bingo and 069 comes up and you have a chuckle and your kitty says, Mommy, why are you laughing at 069? And the mommy says, when you're older. It's one of those kinds of things. Mommy, can I listen to Podcast of Terror? Sure, when you're older. This is a show with adult themes and some childish behavior. A lot of dick jokes. So please. If you want to avoid the swearing, if you want to avoid spoilers for your favorite horror movies, and if you want to avoid really, really lame, petty dick jokes, do not listen to this show. It is not for you.
This is episode 100 of the Podcast of Terror, a production of the Galactic Network. I'm your host, Matt Stein. With me, as always, is Corey Scott. We're kind of going back after the fact to record the intro and the outro simply because when we have Matt on, we just kind of let him do whatever because he's such a great guest to have that, I don't know. I don't want to...
This is our 100th episode, and we've had 3 episodes previously with Matt, so you might already be used to it, but
I hope.
if you're not, just know we'll talk about the movie some, but we're just going to be our own, so be prepared.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, this will easily be three hours, but just warming you up. But for more on this podcast, including show notes, content information, subscription links, you can go to gncast.com/pot. You can chat with us on our side channel during our shows at gncast.com/signup. And while you're there, you can subscribe to the newsletter as well. Just going to completely ignore the majority of how we do a show, just because it's more fun to fuck around.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear myself. I found some fun Matt facts.
All right. I like fun Matt facts.
Yeah. So if you're, I don't even know if anyone's in here. If you're watching this while we're recording it, this is episode 100. We turned 2 years old on Friday. This is our 100th episode. It's our last episode before I take a 6-week break and make Corey do it too, so I don't kill somebody.
Nice.
It's just a fucking.
Everyone needs some time off.
I need a fucking break. So I did a lot of math here. So Matt, you are the second person to be our fourth time guest, I should say.
Nice.
And you are our second ever guest, not including
yes.
our first episode because that one doesn't really count.
It just shows how little concept I have of like how time passes. And I'm like, yeah, I've done a couple of their podcasts probably in the last 6 months or 5 years. I have no idea.
I could tell you exact dates because we're nerds like that. So the first time you were on was November 24th of November 17th of 2015. We talked about Nosferatu.
Yeah, I remember the movies we've done.
Yeah, and what I like is they progressively get longer and longer. So it was like at the time our episodes were like 30 minutes, and then you came on and it was 90.
Yeah. Has that changed? Like, are y'all's normal episodes that length now?
No, they're about an hour to an hour and a half normally.
Right on.
But we know when you come on that it's going to be longer. It's fine.
Well, it should go as long as the conversation goes.
Yep. Yeah, and I completely agree. And that's usually we have a couple that go to over 2 hours, but you're still the champ at 3.5 hours.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You are what other shows have tried to measure themselves against. Too.
That's perfect. I was very excited recently that the last podcast I was on with Mark was their most downloaded Powercast they've ever had. So that was kind of cool.
Damn. Yeah, it was. My wife's like, no one listens to a 3.5 hour podcast. I'm like, but you don't
You're
understand.
incorrect.
Like,
Just Joe Rogan guy would be happy to prove you wrong.
Yes, and I told her, I said, we've actually gotten a number of fans and actually really, really fucking cool people from having you on and talking for 3.5 hours.
Well, I think like that limit of conversation, right? Like for me, driving, that's the best for a road trip. It seems that I didn't just listen to 30 songs. I listened to one podcast.
Mm-hmm. As long as like the the conversation flows, and it's interesting. Like there's some
which
true
is
crime ones that 45 minutes and they fucking suck after a while.
Man, the first season of like Serial really did just kind of change the game.
Yeah.
Like that one's good, and so was the was it the one with wait, that was Serial with Anan Saeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was season 1 of Serial.
Yep. Season 2 sucked.
Man. Didn't care for it. And then there's no mystery to season 2. Like it was just the story, right? Yeah, I still listen to a ton of Rogan, and then the other stuff I really like is the Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. That one's killer. Like he does like 20 hours on like the Mongols.
That's a bit too much.
It's amazing. Genghis Khan killed 10% of the people on Earth.
I mean,
on horseback.
Do I need 20 hours of Genghis Khan?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Well, it kind of does all Southeast, like it's all that part of Asia and everything like that. So it's wild. I mean, the World War I one's really long and very, very detailed, and it's good too.
Speaking of time, so we've recorded a total of 120 hours of podcast.
Nice.
Eight of which hours have been with you.
That's nice. That's good stuff.
I did the math, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like I've spent an entire workday talking to you on a computer.
No, totally right. I definitely have held more conversation with you guys than some of my friends that I've known for a long time.
Which,
you know what that means, though? This is time and a half.
That's true.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we'll get those checks in the mail.
Yeah, unfortunately, every time I see you in person, I have to like share you with a bunch of mouth breathers.
No, it happens. The Arnold's a tricky spot.
I know.
So, Corey, have you seen this before?
I have.
What'd you think of it?
The first time I saw it, I believe I watched the subtitled version.
Okay.
This time I was a little more forgiving to myself and watched the dubbed. But I think the subtitled is probably better. You pay more attention.
I always think so, yeah. Well, not that you just pay more attention. The dubbed one, they don't do as good a job as the actors typically in like emotion in the voice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that in the wrong language than.
No, I agree. The emoting was better in the original, but it's not a bad dub.
No,
is,
it's not.
Obviously, once you find out the answers to the plot, it changes your experience watching the movie. So now this time I'm looking for hints going along as to the big reveal at the end, as opposed to the first time where I had no idea going into it what was happening.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen this movie, just go watch it. But we're just going to... So, yeah, for me, they try to do a big Sixth Sense switch up here at the end of this whole bastard. And unlike the Sixth Sense, I don't think it works.
No, I would agree with you. That moment when she is standing there with her pants off and you see that she's had a penis the whole time. Oh, wait, no, that's a different movie.
Shit. I watched that one this afternoon.
That's a Meredith Baxter Burney. I agree. The final idea of the lead actress being the killer, having a split personality and everything. Watching it this time through and looking for those hints, there's some that are not so subtle. The point at the beginning,
a lot of two vehicles went to a bunch of places.
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
Right.
The other part is that this time I watched it and I knew a little bit about the controversy about the film, which is that it's a huge ripoff of a Dean Koontz book.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Dean Koontz's Intensity, this steals a lot of the plot from that book and a lot of the scenes from that book.
Is one of those scenes Johnny Cash making love to a decapitated head while driving the Jeepers Creepers truck?
No, but that is probably one of the best scenes of the movie.
Why does the killer look like Johnny Cash?
Because he's the Men in Black.
Oh, that's true. I don't think he spent that much time in France.
No, probably not.
I
That's a
was
key.
curious, how do you go from finger blasting yourself to punching a guy through a window in the front door?
She's, yeah, I just don't think the swap lines up. The only thing that works is if you look at it like in the beginning, right? She's telling her version of the story, and this is her version of the story.
Yeah. Well, she has that dream at the beginning where she's being chased through the woods, and she says, and the person that's chasing me through the woods, it turns out to be me. And that's what she tells her friend right at the start of the film. So that's kind of your jumping off point of like,
Only
here's where they kind of reveal it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But the rest of it, there's not a lot of hints about, oh, well, she's imagining this whole thing and it's actually her, other than the reaction of her friend when she's chained up and she never unchains her friend. She never does anything to really help her escape. She just keeps like running around with her.
And kissing her.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It's like
erotic.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be with those things. It is very French.
Overall, I really dug it. And like, there's a couple French horror films that are also pretty good, like Martyrs and like Frontiers. I mean, Frontiers is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, you showed up to the wrong place, and this family's crazy.
I've never even heard of them.
Martyrs, I think we've got. Erin had asked me to grab that a while ago, so she's seen it. I haven't seen it yet. The Frontiers I'd never heard of.
Yeah, they're both French overdubbed. Well, not overdubbed, but French subtitled.
And the guy who did this, he did really Americanized horror movies, because didn't he also direct Piranha 3D?
Is that
And he
really
did
the same
Hills Have
guy?
Eyes? Yeah.
Oh, God, I wasn't aware of that. That's very strange.
Yeah, Alexandra did Piranha 3D. He did the Hills Have Eyes remake in 2006. Not much of the other stuff that he's done is stuff that I recognize, but those two things kind of stand out of like, wow, that's a big jump from this to that. Oh, he did Horns.
Well,
he was a producer on Horns. Never mind.
I mean, the direction of the film and like art direction and stuff like that, I think the film shot great. It just the weird plot twist. Like if you film in like the first 30 seconds, it's really good.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is like there's so much good in this movie in the actions, in the viciousness of the killer.
Yeah.
It is a high tension film. The title really speaks to what it's about. But
Yeah, I think my wife cried watching it.
But the reveal kind of ruins it in that regard, because it doesn't make sense for the rest of the movie, and it just seems like it's so tacked on for what the rest of it is. But I guess it's also because the difference between it and the Kuntz book is in the Kuntz book, the friend doesn't live, and the girl gets to the back of the truck and follows the guy because she finds out that he's got somebody else kidnapped, locked up at his home. So she trails back to him after he kills people in a gas station. She goes with him to rescue this other girl. So that's where it deviates. But in this, it's like so much of this seems like it's such a great survival film that if they just concentrated on that, it would have been overall an excellent, almost flawless movie in the kind of horror movie that it is.
Right. I agree completely, because there's definitely times that her and the Johnny Cash character like actually interact.
Yeah.
It looks like Johnny Cash.
It really does.
Hey, look this guy up.
Also, this could be one of the only films I've seen that someone got killed by a dresser.
Dude, that was fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I think you'd have to fucking bring the heat with the dresser. Like, I'm not sure that you could. I don't think her or Johnny Cash has the leg drive.
No.
Yeah, and that bookshelf that she used to take off the dad's head. Now they show her trying to move an armoire in the bedroom to get behind it, and she's struggling with that. But we're supposed to imagine that she has this sudden burst of strength to go pushing this thing across the floor to take off the guy's face. that's
And I think the head would probably. I think it would bust the banister in his old French farmhouse before it would remove the head.
yeah.
It doesn't. Does it remove the head? Because if it removes the head, that's even more impressive.
Oh, it takes it clean off, and then
Oh, nice, like a
gore
sword.
and everything is pouring right out of it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's got the ability of that. No way.
You got to be pretty
Yeah.
close to that part in the movie right now, though.
Yeah, I'm not. They're just getting upstairs,
getting
and they
the house
kind of
Are
Making
you
themselves
watching the unrated version?
I don't know. I just bought one off iTunes.
Yeah, because that's the other thing too. Is the unrated version definitely ups the gore factor and certain things like they cut off the
Show
part
some
with
more
the head.
boobs.
Just the one scene,
All right,
but
Excellent.
it's in there.
Damn shame.
it's
Yeah.
artful. It's French.
The friend who shows the boobs, played by Melwin or Mywin,
Okay.
is she played the diva in The Fifth Element, the one who does the great song.
Oh no way!
Yeah, I was kind of impressed when I realized that too. I'm like, oh, that's cool because I hadn't really thought of her being in anything else.
Not Chris Tucker.
No, she is not Chris. Chris Tucker actually played the Saint Bernard.
Yeah, he got an Oscar for that role, I believe.
Yeah, deserved.
Totally. I think he got all of them for that whole year. They just handed him over because he had hair shaped like a saxophone.
Yeah, but she's been in I think a couple things by Luc Besson. She showed up as a blonde babe in The Professional. But yeah, it was. I was surprised that both her and the lead were closer to my age than I expected. They were both born about 5 years after me. Yeah, they're pushing 40 now. So
Oh,
I saw
okay.
this.
Not in the film. They're playing 20-somethings.
Right. Yeah, but still, I was just surprised because when I saw it, I would have imagined they were both college age.
I got
14
you.
years ago, but it's still that's. I don't know.
Yeah, shit. I got out of college in 05, so 12 years ago.
Yeah,
Nice and getting old.
y'all are way younger than me.
But I thought you were like a year older than me. How did you get out of college? a year-
34?
Oh, okay. I'm 31.
Yeah, that's
You just
almost 35. I'll be 35 in April.
I'll be 32 in September.
Nice.
Corey, it's your turn.
No, it's such a strong. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be 46 in October.
There's nothing I find stranger in a conversation than people who immediately follow with like, "Oh shit, what's your birthday?" It's a literal 1 in 365 chance. It's that you had nothing to do with.
Well, and the other thing is like every time I try and think about like, to me, Corey and I are just the same age. We're over 25. We are peers.
Yeah, look.
And I
once
have,
you're over 25, right?
Yeah.
It's just when you say stuff like, "Well, I got out of college in 2005." I'm like, "Well, I just fucking got out of high school."
But then it's
Right.
like you're at a social function with Corey, and it's like, where'd Corey go? He's disappeared for an hour and a half. Oh, he's probably trying to pee. It just like that's right.
All right.
Corey's gonna die soon.
Hey, man, it's all right.
Remember, Corey, it's downhill. Every day before this was better than the next.
Yep. I just
Every
just
day
wanted to
you
flag.
see me is literally the worst day of my life.
Says the one that is in clearly the best shape out of the three of us.
Easily the best shape, but going through the most shit. I mean, that's the thing
That's
too.
true.
Is I got in a car accident. a
What
couple
am I
weeks
going
ago.
through? Going through laying, having
Fourth
someone
knee
put me
surgery?
to, what, you mean some people put me to sleep and then I fucking hang out on the couch for a number of weeks?
But that's what I mean. Is I got hit by a car. My car got totaled.
Fuck.
My knee hurts. And for a couple of days I couldn't walk on it, and I went to the doctor and they did x-rays and it's fine. But it's still sore. And I'm just walking around limping like, God, my knee hurts. And then I think, oh, but shit, Matt has gotten multiple surgeries.
Yeah, but like right now, like my knee doesn't hurt.
Right.
And has been pretty good for about like a week and a half, which makes it really shitty. Like, it's kind of working. Like, let's not just ruin it. And so it seems like it's what I need to do. So we'll go in and then get back to rehab. Yeah.
What are they doing this time?
A high tibial osteotomy. If you look it up, it's just the worst thing imaginable. So they basically cut a slice into my tibia near the knee and then wedge it open, install the wedge so that holds now a changed angle at the knee to give me less pressure on the inside of my knee.
What?
Yeah.
Why don't you just eat Taco Bell?
I love Taco Bell.
Just like
I don't even want to compete anymore. I just want to be able to go upstairs.
So, are you planning on going back to competing, or is it on the? Oh, you're done.
Yeah, I'm done, man.
Damn.
It's something like I'm not a say never guy, but I have no thought right now of going back to competing.
Yeah.
Like until I can run, jump, and be able to like go on hikes or go ride my bike and stuff like that without being stressed of needing to lose my leg. Like I'm not gonna be able to throw. It's not.
Yeah, but you're a guy who doesn't need goals in the way that other people do to achieve something, because you're constantly doing. You drive yourself just by being who you are.
Yeah,
and the idea of like, oh, I've got to get back in this kind of shape so I can go compete again isn't really something that you require to get better.
No, and I competed at a high level in the Highland Games for a decade, give or take, I think 9 years. I love it. And I miss right now, like the camaraderie. I miss being out there and traveling with my brother and the other guys and hanging out. Right. I don't miss, it's not like throwing or winning stuff mattered. It was hanging out. And, I liked having something that I could push myself to get better at, but I can always find something to do that. But it's just going to go forward. And that's, I don't know that there's any new lessons I was going to learn from the Highland Games. And so let's go find the next thing.
Yeah.
What is the next thing?
That I don't know yet. I'm enjoying the weight loss and enjoying trying to train a little differently. Well, look, dude, it's math.
Yeah, but I really prefer potato chips to not potato chips and beer to not beer.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I don't have I don't have the willpower that you do to just be like, you know what, I'm not going to drink beer because I want to lose weight. Like,
okay,
I got a lot of beer in my basement.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Gotta go somewhere. I know, but damn if you don't look great without a shirt on.
It is nice right now. It's the first time in my life. Trying to just do her as close as possible. But yeah, losing 50 pounds helps. But, I mean, also doing whatever you want to with your life's real cool too.
No, I agree, and that's to each their own. As long as you're happy.
Yeah, totally. And it's not like I don't ever get to have a drink or any of that. The way I look at it is like most meals or most nights or whatever like that, it was me, either just being at home or meals during the day because I need to eat. Like they're not an occasion, they're not any of that. Mm-hmm. And so on those, I treat those really strict and I stick to the diet, and those are straight fuel. And then, the twice a week or something like that there is something that's out of the regular routine, I just try not to be a total asshole with it.
And that's the problem I have. A buddy of mine who was a vegetarian for like 12 years, like I never knew him when he ate meat. He's eating meat now. So we went to a fucking burger place and got what they call the defibrillator. There's a double cheeseburger with chicken fried bacon on it, and then cheese curds, but their cheese curds are inch by inch cubed.
See, that's worth doing. You just can't do it every day.
No, I will never do it again. I felt so bad about myself.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah. The one thing you always said is you got to play both sides of the coin.
Yeah, for sure, right? And I honestly believe this too, is that I don't live in a world of really good moderation. I'm kind of an on or off. Yeah. And so it's easier with diet for me to have some stricter rules and say, this is what I'm going to do because this makes easy sense to me with less excuses. And so, I fully believe the idea of everything in moderation, except, including moderation. Sometimes you just got to fucking pour the coals to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's up with your coffee, since we're just kind of randomly talking? I think Habit is fucking amazing, by the way.
Thanks, man. It's going well. We're trying to grow the subscription service, like anything else that you would do with that. We're working on a second roast right now. I have like some pretty fruity notes and some different stuff like that. So it'll be a little lighter but higher caffeine.
Okay. You kind of dropped out there for a second, and I was going to ask if it was light or dark, but you came back and said it was light.
Yeah, it'll be Ethiopian. It'll be a little lighter roast, a little lighter bean, so it'll be a little bit more caffeine in it, but a lot more like fruity, different stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, stoked on that. I think the next roast, I think we're calling snake oil.
Why?
I think, cures what ails you.
All right, cool. Can't argue with that.
No, it's just science and facts. Hey, don't go into the door. Johnny Cash downstairs.
Man, I looked that guy up, and
He did. This is his only role. He's an apparition. He showed up.
in not that movie, he does not look like Johnny Cash. But
You were okay. In this movie, he totally looks like Johnny.
oh yeah. But if you just,
So you think they dressed him up to be Johnny Cash?
Probably someone was like, "This is gonna be fucking great, guys. Check this out," and no one told him about it.
But yeah, if
came
he's
out.
when he's not in the movie, he looks like Jessica Lange's dad and Tootsie.
Also, he does a pretty good. Like that door's got an iron gate on it,
Yeah.
and he does a pretty good job of whatever face slash he pulled off from the upper deck. Like, that guy just stood there and smiled right into that. Fucking.
Let me put my face through the grate.
I bet he ring of fired him. You know what I mean? Like just wooed him into a false sense of security with.
And right there is a scene where I could see, okay, if we give into the caveat that it's actually the girl that's doing this, then why would
while this is happening, she's hidden the attic. She's basically.
And maybe that's how she perceives herself. But if he opens up the door and she's standing outside, and of course we're seeing the big killer. But if it's her, then of course he's going to open up and say, "Why are you standing out here?" And then she kills him. So it's the lulling him into a sense of security that a stranger wouldn't do. But his reaction to her would be like, "Yeah, let me open this for you and see what's going on." And that again, if they had played that out well, would have been a good case for this is where it leads to the reveal at the end. But that's unfortunately not what happened. It's just wholesale slaughter and a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense.
Right. we just got the stairway dresser scene. The head just folds open. It just like peels apart.
So the head does come clean off?
It doesn't come clean off. It's not like he didn't get Ned Starked or anything, but he definitely just like mushes this dresser through the head. So they would probably do more of that. Speaking of, Game of Thrones is popping.
Oh, jeez, yes.
Don't get into it.
Matt's not a watcher.
Nope. I'm a straight man.
Why?
I watched.
Did you feel like me? You saw Willow and decided you didn't need to catch up on anything else?
I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of the first season, and I just didn't get it. Like, we have a friend who did a Game of Thrones fucking fantasy draft.
Yeah.
That's very odd.
I've got friends at work who are doing that too. One of the engineers is like, I need for this person to die so I can win my draft. And right now she's locked up, and I'm just like, come on, kill the bitch. Yeah.
That's one of the nerdier things I've ever heard is a Game of Thrones fantasy draft. I also find fantasy football can be completely odd. I don't understand it.
See, I use it as my wife is a huge football fan because we live very close to Green Bay. I never cared for it. So I use fantasy football as an excuse to actually care about
care about football. That's what I understand people do. I can't. I just don't watch sports.
I don't blame you.
It's never been my thing.
Don't blame you one bit. The fucking city's like shut down around here for a Packer game.
Well, like, I always went to football games, and stuff like that while my brother played. And then, like, when he got done playing, I went to a game because I was used to going. And I remember sitting there and being like, I don't fucking know any of these people. Why would I even care who wins?
Right. That's how you just start drinking.
Yeah, that part I've always been relatively good at. Drinking enough on campus to projectile vomit. That was a good move.
The sports thing hasn't bit me either, but I came from Detroit, so I had some appreciation for hockey because we had a reason to care. And I watched the Tigers win the '84 World Series, not knowing that was going to happen, but I did pick up on it when they were in the playoffs. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out for a little while. Had no idea what was going on. Had no one to talk to about it at that point. It's just like, yeah, I'll just watch it and see what happens. I'm like, oh, they won. Yay.
They won. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, we were never into sports. It was kind of weird. We hunted and fished and did all that type of shit, but never like. I don't remember Saturdays hanging out in the living room with like the family and watching football.
My dad would watch golf, and then as a kid,
My dad watched fishing.
Yeah, or bowling. I will watch bowling for some reason.
I listen to it on cassette. That's the only way I do. I just lay on top of my rug and I just listen to it on cassette.
Just naked on a bearskin rug.
One time I was on that rug.
Listen to people toss their balls.
These two guys broke into the house while I was listening to this cassette on this rug and then tried to get a bunch of money from me. One of them pissed on it.
Together.
Yeah, Asian fella. Pissed all over it.
What sucked is that rug really tied the room together.
It did. And I've felt that this just did not abide by the way life should have been.
300 ring in my sock drawer. That is a true story. It's mine. A 300 ring.
Oh, nice. You bowled a straight 300?
When I was 19.
No
wow.
way.
Yeah.
So what do you average now? Like go bowl, you still drop like a 210?
Last year I averaged like a 206.
I like that last year's average.
Well, I stopped bowling for a period of time, and then when I moved up to the Appleton area, someone's like, "Hey, you used to bowl. We need the guy on our bowling team," and then I just fucking crushed everybody. So like,
oh, you just went out there and hulked out on it. I love it.
I walked in, I had the glove on.
Bill Murray and Kingpin. Clear ball with the rose in it.
Yeah, my brother had one with a skull.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah,
like the bowler from Mystery Men.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That was one of those things. Like I wanted a custom bowling ball just because of shit like that, and no reason for me to ever have one.
That was a fun film.
Yeah, it was.
Never saw it.
Pretty sweet. It's basically as 90s as any film could get.
Oh.
It's Ben Stiller and Janine Garofalo and
Hank
that's a late
Azaria.
90s cast. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's spoofing superhero movies at a time that superhero movies were still not super popular.
Right.
So it had the look of things like Burton's Batman, but it was all comedy based. And like now, this is when you think that would instantly be everybody's going to make superhero spoofs, but it hasn't landed like that because that movie is just so good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's very rare any of the superhero movies I've given a shit about. I like Nolan's Batman is awesome.
Yep.
But I just never cared about any of the Avengers.
I've tried really hard, and they just
it just looks like a big CG jerk off to me. It's just this shit's moving real fast, and we paid these people how much? They're not even there acting. And I say I didn't mail in any checks.
Maybe that's what you need to add to your
the
resume.
collective man.
But the problem is people keep spending just a fuck ton of money to go see these movies.
Love them.
Star Wars.
At this point in time, though, that we kind of need that because there's not enough.
I'm enjoying the
movies
revamp of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Rogue One yet, but I do want to see it.
Yeah. I really liked it. And like more things from the universe are always better.
Speaking of like remakes and shit, are you excited for it?
Oh, I always feel weird about it.
And I know we've had this conversation, especially about the pending reboot of Nosferatu. So curious and they haven't really said anything about it, but I'm sure it's going to be garbage. It, on the other hand, looks fucking great from what I've seen.
Just make a goddamn vampire film then. Do you know what I mean? It could be
Twilight.
Nosferatu, but like unless you guys are going to do a shot for shot, I just don't give a shit.
Speaking of Twilight, we still need to watch all the Twilights, and that's your
Dive in
idea.
for like a 9-hour.
Yeah,
Just
and
play them on 3 times speed.
well, we got to be able to do that. But we could do what you like to do. We'll fucking just sit down
Live.
We'll start like Saturday morning, and we'll just watch them all.
Big giant boxes of cereal and plow through 9 hours of Twilight and talk about it.
At hour 6, you just see me pull out a gun and just put it up to my
Yeah. But 30 minutes into the first film, we lost Corey.
He had a good run.
Oh, goddamn, dude.
The week we're going to go first anyways, we always knew it would be Corey.
I did, however, find the chicken high tension hot. She's crazy as all get out, but she's pretty hot.
She was not bad to look at.
No, the short hair. She's kind of Zobel, like from a French different era.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And she's on she's on the young Pope now, I guess.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Which I have not seen, but I would like to see more of her. She was definitely good in this.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting to see her as a kind of an American role.
Yeah, no kidding. I have to check it out. You know what's another classic, like, favorite horror film of mine is the Blair Witch Project. Have I spoke about that before? There's a chance.
I think we briefly talked about it. Did you see the reboot? I couldn't even call it a reboot because it's technically kind of the third movie.
No, I just didn't bother. I stick to the first one.
You know, it's actually not bad.
Come on, dude.
Hear me out.
It's like another found footage thing.
Yeah, but the nice thing is they explain how there's found footage.
The
that's
problem is like
they never say like how you have the camera and every time you turn to look at something there's a camera. In the new one they use glasses with cameras built on them. So whatever they're looking at you see, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay.
And they re-explain the first one while having like a story built on the first one. So it's the brother of the girl that goes missing is going to look for her in the woods. So it's just like an expanded explanation of the first movie. I'm not saying like
I bet it's just I just take it I bet it's just ham-fisted, like explaining parts of the first movie that people just missed.
Kinda. It's that and like just a general retelling of the story. It's worth seeing, but don't like go out of your way to see it.
I totally loved Blair Witch Project, like the whole experience. Like I'd found like the website with my brother, and like by the time it had come out, like nobody was still sure of like what had happened,
Right.
and not happened. It didn't exist before.
Mm-hmm.
But then like 3 came out like real close together. There was like that one. There's one about the like Jersey Devil, and then I don't remember the other one.
You're talking just found footage movies, right?
Yeah, but those were like
Blair Witch came out like what 98?
yeah, it had to have been.
Yeah.
It was right when my wife and I started dating.
Yeah, my brother was in college and I was in high school, and I went and hung out with him, and then we went to Houston to go see it, like small theater, like opening day.
The Last Broadcast, does that ring a bell?
Yes, that's the one about the Jersey Devil.
Okay.
Not as good. Don't.
Broadcast, Blair Witch Project, and then I don't know. August Underground is.
I don't know what that one is.
This is 50 found footage films you need to see.
The thing about the Blair Witch is that it was the marketing that really did it.
It's exactly right. Like they were the first ones to go with like the big website and the lead-in that kind of released facts and had it was the art direction was, you know, everybody who built props did a hell of a job, and it was pretty rad.
And they just sold you on this idea of this thing, so that people didn't know that it was fake. They had no idea. The internet was just at that cusp of like you could get stuff from it, but you didn't know how to look for the information that was going to tell you the reality of. But no, this isn't real. So, friend of the group that I was hanging out with at the time downloaded the movie before the day or two before it premiered. So they had it.
Oh, wow.
And so everybody wound up watching the movie thinking it was the documentary that the movie was based off of.
Oh,
and
shit.
freaked the fuck out the whole time. They're just like, holy shit, because they all thought it was real. And then people who were in the theater thought it was real for the most part. It took a couple of weeks before that really started to leak out. It's like, but it's a movie.
Well,
Yeah, they're paid actors. Oh, right. It's amazing what you'll like suspend and be.
Did any of you guys see Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it was like the original, like they thought it was real, and they actually took that fucking director to trial.
I know,
which
crazy.
is But what's amazing?
It all helped. It all helped the film.
Yeah. But the fact that happened in 1980, and Blair Witch came out in 99, and people still didn't know what the fuck was going on.
No, you're right. You're right. Every generation. Yeah, it's just amazing what you allow yourself to. Like, of course, these are actors.
Isn't that why you see a movie?
Yeah, of course, right?
So everyone wants to be scared. Although now, like we kind of said, with the internet being what it is, like a celebrity can't fart without someone putting it on the internet.
No,
which is
right.
fucking sad.
Which is why I always prefer horror movies to not have any actors I know in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as I see Matt Damon running around, I just
Matt Damon.
Oh, nice! Johnny Cash is about to go shoot the younger brother in the cornfield.
I did an oh damn when I saw the kid. I was like, fuck, he's gonna murder.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a dog.
No, the dog gets it too.
Man, I've seen. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I've seen 1,000 people get killed on that show, and the only time I've given a shit was when they almost wounded a dragon.
Really,
dude?
But dragons aren't real.
I'm with you. Look, I don't normally do fantasy. Same reason I didn't watch Lord of the Rings. There's not a single Mad Mardigan in it.
Yeah.
And, they pulled that story off in 90 sweet minutes. They didn't need to take 9 hours to knock it out.
That's very true.
You got 2 films without endings, for Christ's sakes. At least Harry Potter finished each one.
Did you like Harry Potter?
My wife got into it as an adult, like 2 years ago. So now I'm very familiar with the universe. It doesn't do much for me.
How long have you been with your wife?
Yeah. 11.
11. So it's just the implication of she got into it as an adult 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just little bell kind of rang in the back of my ear there. I'm like, what are you saying, Matt?
Well, like my neighbor's big time Harry Potter fan, and she loves it, but she found it like as a kid.
Yeah, I was already an adult when the books came out. My wife got me the first, I think the first 4 books as they were, not as they were published, but by the time the 4th one came out, she got me the first 4, and then I wound up collecting the whole series and stuff. But I never actually sat down to read them. I tried to read the first one on a trip, probably back to Michigan, and just couldn't get into it at the airport, and then during the trip didn't have the time, and so I just never picked it up again. But I've seen all the movies, and I definitely enjoy the films. It's just I get why adults like it as much as kids like it, and the story. I love the fact that it progresses from an age level of young kids should be reading this at the right age, so that each year they get a new book, a new story that they can kind of grow with.
Yeah,
I think that is brilliant.
Cool. Yeah, she did okay from those books. I heard.
Yeah, I hear that she's.
I heard she made $300,000.
Oh man, that's pizza money.
I don't know where you get pizza.
She has a net worth of $1 billion right now.
I was right on target.
Right. She got $3,000 from all those books.
I mean, look, if you actually laid out all the possibilities of the amount of money she has on the infinite timeline, by $300,000 is not that far from $1 billion. Basically, right next to each other.
Just a couple zeros, no big deal.
Yeah, what are zeros, dude?
Speaking of insane amounts of money, are you a boxing fan, Matt?
No, I'm relatively familiar with what's going on with Conor and Floyd, though.
Did you hear about the price of front row tickets?
No.
$151,000. And that was face value.
Yikes.
So aftermarket, I'm sure, is just insane.
I'm sure because the people who got offered those front row tickets.
That's
Yeah,
fuck you money to them. They're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, who cares? It's $100.
I mean, I got to see what they're selling for on StubHub. They've got to be like $80, right? Just
Yeah. I think it's a good
in
call.
in the parking lot. You can see the toilet in the arena for $80.
Just shaking them. I got two up front.
I wonder if there would be people.
The shame is that the fights are rude. The whole thing's a fucking work.
It's a fucking money grab.
Yep, I'm not mad at either of them for it.
Hmm.
I wish we were brighter as a species. Because look, I'm also still interested to watch it. I'm not excluded from this group.
Are you gonna get it, or are you gonna go to someone's house that's getting it?
Most likely my neighbor will grab it.
Okay.
That's usually where we always watch UFC shit and fights and whatnot.
Fair enough.
So Matt, has the girl been put into the truck yet?
Yeah, she's in the truck. Johnny Cash is straight razoring pictures apart like some lunatic.
So there's one of the scenes that's going to happen is he goes to take off with her in the back of the truck, and the other girl, Marie, jumps into the truck with her and brings a kitchen knife. So the kitchen knife at some point comes back later on when she actually rescues her at the end. But we're supposed to accept at this point that she is both driving the truck away and she's in the back of the truck with the girl.
Right. The laws of physics do not apply to this.
Yeah.
To this insanity. The only way it works is in the very beginning scene when it's like an interrogation. They're talking to her. Doctors or whoever it is. They are. She's telling them what happened. Mm-hmm. And so everything we're watching is her story to the police.
She's Kaiser Sozeing everything.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't catch that, the whole movie's kind of fucked for you.
Yes. There's like a very short run, like in the very beginning and very ending, that try to wrap up a whole second plot.
Which is unfortunate. Because it's not, it's what, the first 2-3 minutes of the movie? And if you miss that for whatever reason, it fucks the whole movie for you.
Right. Unless you delete that part and the end, it's just a really great slasher movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I missed that part because I was, I don't know, probably fucking around.
Yeah.
And you were too sober.
He fucking tries to OJ that chick's head off, though, with that straight razor. There's some upper body strength involved in a move like that.
So when he saws the chick's head off, well, like half off,
yeah,
he like pops back to life. There's no way in hell. If you're alive, you ain't moving.
You know what? I don't know about that. I've recently got to spend some time with some military buddies of mine and hearing stories. Like, movies have poorly depicted how people die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get your throat cut, you don't just fall to the ground.
No, you.
People
suffer.
tend to fight and run a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I didn't.
It's the chicken with its head cut off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's full adrenaline. It's not just panic and grab your neck.
I had met a cop that was a friend of my dad's who had been shot in the gut before.
Yeah.
And he's like, people get shot in movies and they get up and walk away. And he goes, man, when I got shot, I fucking just collapsed because you can't get up.
No, I believe that, dude.
Yeah, it fucks your abdomen and you can't really just get up.
No, someone gets shot like in the leg and then they run for the next half hour. I'm like, I don't think so, dude.
I don't even.
Maybe.
I definitely felt the shock of getting in my car accident where at first I could walk fine. Everything was normal. And then it just slowly kind of seeped in. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, I can't walk on this leg. I can't do this.
Fuck.
The passenger I had with me, he realized he was in pain, but it built up. And I can see shock being part of it. But when you got a piece of metal lodged inside of you, that's a pretty easy reminder.
Was there a piece of metal inside of you?
No, but I mean getting shot in the gut.
Oh.
Man.
There's pieces of metal lodged inside of me all the time, but that's how I spend my Saturday nights.
If you let metal inside of you before me, then we're going to have a little talking to, mister.
At least it's...
Do you mean audibly? Like,
yeah,
like heavy metal?
Yeah. Rock hard metal.
Yeah. Yeah, like fucking leather coats and spiky dazzles. I'm talking Metal.
Gauntlets, just big gauntlets.
Yeah,
I like my metal like I
A
like
lot
my
of
coffee. Black and
Yeah.
inside of me.
Yes.
Wow.
That's great. I like my coffee like I like my women. Quiet.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say ground up and in the freezer.
Ground up and in the freezer. That's another classic one.
And I pour some sugar on them.
Black and thick.
Oh.
Is that one of them too?
I'm sure. Lumpy. That's how I like my coffee.
Lumpy.
Yeah. Like a good
Originally
dehydrated.
digested by a cat.
Oh, God.
What?
The cats that
You got to make it weird.
you send the coffee beans through. There's the special coffee.
Oh, they're like meerkats.
yeah.
You can't just
Yeah.
say they're cats.
Yeah, whatever
They're
happened.
not like a house cat.
No. Here, Fluffy. Come make my coffee.
That Randy?
Well, that's what,
kitty
that's what we use
percolator.
for habit. We use,
Corey, was that Randy that bought that coffee?
I don't remember.
We had a fucking guest on the show who bought the coffee on the show, and I can't remember who it was now.
well, the meerkat poop coffee?
Yeah. It was like $50 for 6 ounces.
Mm.
And people say heroin's an addiction.
I don't
True
spend
that,
much on
dude.
coffee.
Yeah, check out Habit Coffee. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Oh, yeah?
really good. I had a 6-month subscription with Dark Matter in Chicago, and I let it run out so that I could drink your coffee.
Boom.
You're welcome.
Like that.
I'm like you're doing you a big
You're
favor.
welcome.
Yes. I individually thank everyone for the coffee they drink. So thank you, Matt.
Well, hey, Matt knows this already because I was drunk and texting him. But I ran into someone in Indiana that was wearing a hate hat, and I was wearing a hate shirt. I'm like, "Fuck, what's up, man?" And Matt's making jokes about touching pistol tips or whatever, and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Matt's a buddy of mine." And the guy just kind of stared at me, and I don't think he believed me.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna text him right now.
I'll watch this.
Watch this shit.
He'll respond.
Yeah, remember?
He just figures you have some other rube in your phone that you've named it Matt Vincent now.
Which is
It's like,
not
please
that
don't follow
far
me
from
in the
potential
bathroom. Whatever you're doing with your life, I don't need it involved in mine.
That's what I do. I just grab my phone occasionally and I just start yelling, buy, sell, buy, sell. And people know I'm into business. They know I'm an entrepreneur.
I know my own business. I buy low and sell high.
No, remember I
all
went to
I'm
that-
about, dude.
I went to that porn bar in Santa Rosa, California, and there was a guy sitting at the bar that was wearing a hate hat, and I'm like,
What?
oh shit,
Yes.
man! I walked up, I'm like, man, Matt Vincent. He's like, yeah, no shit. I'm like, yeah, the guy's on my podcast sometimes. He's fucking awesome. He's like, what the shit, really? You know Matt? I'm like, well, I kind of know Matt, but yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Matt, did I ever tell you there's a guy who he lives in Neenah, which is a suburb of Appleton, who's a big
Okay.
fan of yours? So you were on here and then emailed us, and he's like, oh, it's so cool that someone else near here knows who Matt is. I'm like, you're
fucking
fucking
weird,
taking
dude.
over the world right now, dude.
You know what's weird though is like, so I've only had one sighting, as I would say, like in the wild. Like,
Yeah, you
know,
had
like
this
if I'm at a
conversation where it's like
gym-
really weird.
I know there's places that I have a higher chance of seeing it, but like, I was in Austin a couple weeks ago, and me and Buddy went to go rent some kayaks to go out on the water. And when I was running back up to the car to throw some shit in it, there was a dude wearing a hate hat, and I was like, "Hey man, nice hat." And he's like, "Oh, thanks." And
You had no idea.
no, then he's like, "Are you fucking Matt Vincent?" I'm like, "I am." And he's like, "Oh shit, man." I did get a direct message from some girl who saw me at an In-N-Out Burger because like I got up to leave and she was like, "Oh, nice, nice shirt." I'm like, "Oh, thanks," and just walked away. And she sent like a direct message that was like, so basically, it's like when you tell a guy nice shirt because it's a hate brand shirt, and then you realize 30 seconds after he walks out of the door that it was Matt. Like nothing would have been weirder than walking up to her and been like, "So you like a shirt, right? That's me, right? I did this." She's
Yeah.
like, "Get out of here, creep." I'm in high school.
You just kick her in the shins.
Nah,
I like you.
just shove her and run. Buy myself a milkshake on the way out.
Throw it at her.
When,
I suck it down just to deal with my pride.
so how do you get your burger at In-N-Out? Like, what is
I
your
go
In-N-Out
no
order?
lettuce and double, no lettuce, tomato, Chris, like not cooked.
So do you do the
I feel like the
animals?
lettuce and tomato waters the burger down.
Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree. I ate it in and out for the first time like
Oh man, it's delicious.
a couple months ago. You've eaten Whataburger though?
Oh, of course.
Which one do you prefer?
Oh man, In-N-Out has more nostalgia to me. I grew up with Whataburger,
Oh, okay.
but Whataburger is excellent.
Yes.
They're very close.
I have neither. So like when I go to Austin for work,
Juicy Lucy, or is that it's Minnesota?
no, it's Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
But
I've been to both those places.
We have cheese curds though.
Cheese curds
like,
are fucking baller.
You go to a gas station and there's fucking cheese curds.
No way, really?
Well, not like the deep fried ones, the fresh ones, which the fresh ones are better.
Iceland's got fish jerky.
I bet
Just
that was
dried
pretty
cod.
good.
Yeah.
It's pretty
cod,
awesome.
though? Oh,
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I wish we had it here. I'd be crushing it.
dude, I smoked my own salmon, which is fucking amazing.
How had you
have you
get?
ever
Is that a
fucking
euphemism?
I rolled up a big ass king salmon.
King
That
salmon.
motherfucker.
It's a sweet Bible papers and roasted it up.
I'm sorry. When you said I smoked my own
Johnny
salmon,
Hopkins, Sloan Kettering.
I
used to
thought you were
blaze that
Steve
shit.
Bannon for a second. I didn't understand what that meant.
Like, you know how you
Used to blaze
smoke
that
pork,
shit.
you just smoke salmon.
Just covered in smoke.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's a good time.
Matt, aren't you just surrounded like by cows anyways, though? So you can just go knock something over and make your own goddamn In-N-Out burger?
Yeah, I could fucking.
I'm definitely less than 100 yards from a cow right now.
Oh, see, I assumed he was talking to me.
I was, but no.
There's
in
two
all
Matts here.
cases,
Please
that's what I
differentiate.
said.
Yeah,
I currently so
There's something about how Mormons cook a burger that
that's true.
that's true.
So Matt, since the last time you were on our podcast and we talked, I now live in the middle of nowhere.
Come on. I like the new setup.
Thank you. We just had hardwood floors put in.
Nice, dude.
These are
That's
my eyes
moving
still
up.
burn from the chemicals.
Yeah, but that's so much better than gross carpet.
I agree. We ripped out the fucking carpet. Like we moved in at the end of May and we ripped the carpet out like within 3 days.
Yeah, just live on concrete. It's way cooler than carpet.
See, I need to concrete my countertops.
See, our floors are all we just
we
we
have
polished them, but
basements.
they're just gray concrete, like from
We
the
have
slab.
basements here, so we can't have concrete floors.
No, that attitude.
Yeah. you fucking win.
But yeah, fuck, I wish I had a basement. Do they even count basement as like square footage of the house when you buy a house?
So okay,
no.
yeah,
Fuckers.
yes and no. So it counts as square footage if there's an exit. So our basement in this house
Oh, right.
is like half out. So like we have windows, but they're like chest height.
That's considered an exit?
It is not. But if there was a door, this is a door.
Mhm,
If
I
there was
get
a
it.
door, it would count.
French
as-
door.
French doors, yeah, we have French doors.
Yeah,
coming
you're
up.
fancy people.
If there was a door, it would count. Because when I called for homeowners insurance, they're like asking all these questions. They're like, "Well, is there a door?" And I'm like,
Well, that's
"No,
badass
doesn't
because then you
count."
get like basically a whole second house downstairs for not paying for the square footage.
Exactly. So on papers, it's like a 3,200 square foot house, but in insurance, it's like 16. Like,
Man, if you just filled it with pillows and stuff like that and turned it into like a bunch of pillows and blacklight posters.
No, Stein's like, so they asked if there was a door. I said, well, not
Let's
after I
go
break
fucking
it up
kick
with
in
that
the
family
doors
in
to
there.
Spencer's Gifts and outfit this place.
oh man, I haven't been to Spencer's in a long time. The basement is my room. I put a pool table in. I think I'm gonna get some blacklight posters.
Totally get some, especially if you get some Insane Clown Posse ones. I bet you could.
So funny you say that. Insane Clown Posse is doing their 20-year Great Malenko tour, and I'm like,
no.
maybe
Bust
I have to
out
go
the
to
Faygo.
Chicago for this.
Dude, just go to the gathering. You're in the area.
It's like an 8-hour drive from here. That's a bit
That's
much
worth
for me.
it.
Are you gonna meet me there?
I kind of
See,
want to go.
knowing you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'll totally meet you there," and then I fucking show up to the gathering and juggle as alone.
I just forget.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Oh, dude, I don't know that I could survive it.
I think as long as you play nice, you're fine.
Yeah. But I mean, they got to know people are going as tourists now.
Easily, they have.
The soccer mom juggalo.
I mean, just going to watch the freak show.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. They have like a lot of normal bands now.
Well, all right. Here's the problem: is I don't particularly like going to shows anymore because there's typically people at them.
Because you're old.
Yes,
Which
and
sucks.
they happen at night.
'cause Your boy is playing with fucking Knocked Loose. Amazing band. Every time I die is going on tour with Knocked Loose.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're going to see him in Madison on October 20th. But yeah, that's a show right there.
Yeah, you guys definitely got to get Ben on. Ben would fucking.
You. Okay, I need to put like my fucking nerd boner away. Hook me up with Ben, because not only I think Ben is a phenomenal drummer, and I like Whitechapel, so I have to like tuck the boner down. But
Oh, nice. I got you. Nah, he's rad, man. I got a Ben on my chest. So I mean,
what?
yes, that works.
What you've been on your?
We got
chest?
tattooed as a group in Iceland.
Mhm.
It's like all 7 of us went to get tattooed, and we got Viking runes.
Yeah, I totally watched the video, but I didn't want to be like, "What does it mean?" Because I'm sure you get that question daily.
Well, life's pretty tight if you can live it.
That's pretty fucking badass.
Ben said it real stoned while on a trip in Iceland like the second day, and he's like, "You know what, guys? Life's pretty tight if you can live it." And I'm like, "Fucking trip motto."
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
He's rad.
He seems like a super nice guy.
And then, all right, so
let him yell.
I'm watching the gas station panic scene, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just trying to figure out who's playing the Gathering and Juggalos right now.
I'm sure, Tech Nine probably is playing.
I fucking love Tech Nine.
Oh my god!
They have comedians
So,
and wrestling. Sorry.
like, it's confusing because there's just the 2 of them basically in battle at this point. But it definitely doesn't. You can't Sixth Sense this thing. It doesn't work.
In
Yeah,
the
right.
gas station though, there's still isn't she like sneaking away from them? They don't really fight till they're in the woods.
Yeah, but she calls she's been kind of hiding from him. She calls the police. Meanwhile, he's killed everyone in the room.
Which, again, if she calls the police, that's a great way to throw them off of her being the killer.
That's a good call.
Makes sense if she doesn't think that she's the killer. But the scene in the gas station is the guy's acknowledging her while the killer is there. So he's going
Right.
up and he kind of like looks at her and gives a signal of like, yeah, I get it. You know, we're gonna get rid of this dude and everything. And then of course he gets hit by the axe.
Right.
But who's he responding to if she's the one with the axe that comes up behind him?
It all works if it's just her story, though,
Right.
which is way lamer. There's nothing like some weird dream sequence. It was just, oh, that's her story to the cops. So, like, the whole thing's bullshit. But then I guess it's a movie, so yeah, it's not like any of it happened. She is driving that sweet Bruce Lee car, though. Car's all done up. yellow
Which I
and
guess
black.
if you're going to imagine yourself in another vehicle, that would be a nice one to have.
That's a fucking good one.
All right.
That or the Death Proof car.
Yeah.
Real
Not as a
quick,
passenger.
we got to talk about Blood Drive in a second. I just want to point out, Matt, we have to go to the Gathering because Dope is playing.
Okay.
Mushroom Head, POD, Psycho Stick, Vanilla Ice, Waka Flocka
I
Flame.
think he's there every year. So
that's
far,
just-
Waka Flocka Flame's the most interesting one you've said.
That's just one stage.
And he's vegan.
Flaw. Green Jelly.
Yes.
Green jelly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Miss May I, if you're into that. They were once cool. A bunch of fucking
And color me bad.
Browning. Man, I love
Color
the
Me
Browning.
Bad's playing?
No, I wish Color Me Bad was playing. Have you watched Blood Drive? I guess we can stop talking about the Gathering of Juggalos.
I'm not familiar.
Corey actually got me into watching it, but it's like a Grindhouse style sci-fi show
Oh,
where I watched an episode. There's a lot of sex. It was weird.
What channel? Where do I find this?
Sci-fi.
It's on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay, right on.
But it's against type for the Sci-Fi Channel
Oh yeah.
because it definitely feels like it was made to be on Cinemax or some other cable channel because there's a lot of stuff that you can kind of feel that they're getting away with putting it on there. The swearing, the sex. Was there some nudity when you watched it, Matt?
There's a lot of
like
butts.
the weird thing is because like that's not a normal network channel. Like they don't have to play by any different rules than Showtime or anyone else. They just all choose to because of ad dollars.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Johnny Cash got a little bit of rosacea.
Fucking Johnny Cash. He hasn't taken the baseball bat to the face yet, so he's good.
No, it gets a little worse then.
Yeah. But Blood Drive, the premise is it's like a car race, but the cars that these people drive, like they don't use gas, they use human blood. So people have to like feed their cars people.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in.
Yeah, it's real good. I think I'm only 4 episodes in, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I've got
Oh
them
man,
stacked
there
up
was
on DVR.
before zombies all went completely batshit, there was a show. Damn, it was an English one. It was only like 6 episodes. I think it was on the BBC. And it's like they're in like the Big Brother house, and then there's an outbreak outside, so they don't know.
Ooh. I'll check that out.
It's awesome. Shit, what was the name of it? I don't know.
Quick side note: we missed the Gathering of Juggalos this year.
When was that?
The end of July.
Well, we now have time to train.
Dead Set, I think, is the name of the
How do
show.
you-
Dead Set. Yeah.
How do you train for the Gathering of Juggalos?
We got to get much better at grease paint or spray painting logos on our face.
Okay.
We also
man.
need clown names. I'm going with Murder Bitch.
All right. There's got to be a clown name somewhere on the internet.
Listen, you've already had one name. Create the second one yourself.
What?
You didn't pick your name.
No, but you picked yours.
Why would you want? What? Yeah, Murder Bitch. I'm saying your real life name was already given to you, so this one's a chance you can
Oh,
just come
I
up
see
with
what
whatever
you're
you want.
But you can't, like, giving yourself a nickname isn't something you do.
Nah, it's not a nickname. It's a clown's name.
Name generator.
Juggalo clown, even better.
Fantasy name generators.
Ah, God damn it.
Get clown names. Ooh,
Took a coward's way out.
these are usually funnier. Murder Bitch, though. How can I top Murder Bitch?
Murder Bitch is a good one. It would be some mix of myself and Murderface from.
Metalocalypse.
That's a great show.
It was a great show. I saw Death Clock with Mastodon one time.
Nice.
Yeah, Mastodon played Crack the Sky in its entirety, and then fucking Death Clock playing with Gene Hoglan on drums.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Death fan, so seeing Gene and just being a drummer, Gene Hoglan fucking plays with like 10-pound weights on his ankles and combat boots.
Just
Because playing double bass is too easy for him.
oh, okay.
Wow, fuck that guy.
Fuck that. That's funny. Even like talking to Ben about why, getting out of Whitechapel and kind of going forward, he was like, I just felt like every goddamn show I played was like me doing a CrossFit workout. Just how fucking
the
fast
point,
can I
though?
play? I don't know. Maybe he wants to do some soft jazz. Maybe it's time to switch it up. Maybe get into some weird instruments that you've never even fucking heard of.
I wouldn't know. I haven't met him yet. What's your name? I'm on a.
Also, all right. So now we're in the car chase scene, and he puts his hand out of the window and drops the bullets. This is nighttime, and she saw him do that in the rear view. Like, come on. She doesn't have that type of vision on a dirt road. I don't believe it. Especially, you can't see that guy's hand past the headlights. That's just lighting 101.
Yeah.
She may eat a lot of carrots.
She is French. Soufflés, I believe they call them.
It's just nonstop soufflés.
She probably drinks a lot of wine, smokes cigarettes. Guarantee she smokes cigarettes.
Misty 120s.
Yeah. Oh, vagina slimes.
You've come a long way, baby.
Dude, it just fucking France is not my favorite place I've been. Well, I'll take that back. Paris is not my favorite place I've ever been. I could not go back to Paris again, and that would be cool.
See, we're trying to go to Europe in March, and I basically want to go. We have friends in Sheffield, And they're like, yeah, you can just stay here and then fucking fly to Manchester. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
awesome.
Or just take the train.
Yeah. And everyone's like, where are you going to go? Are you going to go to like Italy? Are you going to go to France? Are you going to do Paris? All that shit. I said, no, I want to go to fucking Dublin and Munich. And then I don't give a shit. Yeah, I just want to go.
Amsterdam's a good time too.
Well, she's not super pumped on drugs. So
Well, it doesn't have to be all drugs. Amsterdam's red without the drug part.
yeah, but I feel like it would be cooler.
You're also like a 3-hour flight from Iceland there.
Man, so trip one, like
I
I
understand.
definitely want to go back, and that's I want to see all these but Dublin, I want to do the Guinness and the Jameson tours, and
Yeah,
I
that'd be
just
rad.
want to go to Munich. I want to go to Germany.
See, Germany has never really been up on my list. I mean, it's not like I don't want to go to Germany, but I want to go for sure, like everywhere in Scandinavia. I'd like to spend more time like South France. I'd like to go to Spain. Spain seems to have the right mentality. Germans are harsh.
My clown name,
Yes.
Freckles the Dunce.
God, you got such better name than I did. I put in my name and I got Big Money Hustler, and I feel like
Dude,
that's the
I
most
disagree
boring.
completely.
That is
What
a
a
fucking great
Big Money
movie.
Hustler is a great name.
That's a
I
great
just-
movie, Matt.
It's
Have you
a
ever-
lifestyle,
have you ever seen that
to
movie?
be honest with you. I know, I've never seen
It's
it.
the
I was not aware that
ICP.
it was a film
It is the Insane Clown Posse's movie.
called Big Money Hustler.
Yep, and they made a prequel called Big Money Rustler, which takes place in the Wild West. I own them both.
Oh, did they have a third called Big Money Hustled?
I
Like
wish.
past tense?
And
Did
they
I just win
they
the Juggalo
laugh at
lottery?
people. They just laugh at people for buying the movie. Hey Corey, I got a good one for you.
Where is
Magnets work.
Juggalos meet the leprechaun? That's what I'm waiting for.
You know what, Corey? Here, you can have Boo Boo Chalky
Booby
I feel like I already do.
or
true.
Dirty
In your heart.
Patches. All right, this website has a naked baby on it. I gotta get out of here before the police show up.
Yeah, that's not. Well, I think they allow that where you're at.
I don't think so. You can
They give
fucking-
you
I watched
coming in
I
now.
watched Making a Murderer.
Did we talk about Making a Murder the last time you were here?
Geography.
Well, I don't. So the holding, the place where Brandon Dassey was held.
Yeah.
I used to deliver chicken wings there while he was held there. Yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't remember if we talked about that.
So it was Making a Murderer was all real close to home.
Yeah, because Sheboygan is just south of Manitowoc. That's where I grew up.
Oh man, that's gnarly. I mean, I'm guessing
At the
you
time,
watched
I
it.
had no idea. Oh, I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
And
Fucking
a buddy of mine, who the guy who actually got me into you, which sounds creepy, was
inside of me.
he he worked for the Chilton Police Department when Ken Krantz got busted for sending dick pics and sex texts to that chick.
Nice.
Yeah, so when all that shit came on, I had a interesting insider's view. Oh god. Yeah, I'm just pretty drunk right now.
That a boy.
Well,
right,
it's
so
less
guys-
fun when I'm drinking alone, Matt.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
also
fine.
slightly inebriated.
For a different reason though.
Yeah.
So, guys, the villain in this, the killer the
Johnny Cash.
pictured killer,
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, reminds me quite a bit of the Mick Taylor character from Wolf Creek. Matt, have you seen?
Yeah, for sure. Head
The
on.
TV show or the movie? Because I haven't
both.
seen either.
I didn't see the TV show.
The TV
It's
show's
called
kind of
Wolf
weird.
Place.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
It's an apartment
Gen
complex.
X hipsters
Yeah.
living in an apartment building, and then some Australian guy comes in and just starts cutting them to pieces.
Well,
It's a
then
good
they
time.
make friends with him.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, they've now started a co-op.
Real quick, Beach
Yeah,
is he's watching this and he said he came here to watch Hunky Dudes.
all right, makes sense.
I think he's in the wrong place.
Or
I don't believe it. I think
I'm trying to
that's the
get
right
Beach to
place.
teach me how to fucking bow hunt so I can murder deers on my land.
my mom can teach you how to bow hunt.
Step one: buy a gun.
I have guns, but my neighbors are a little too close for me to feel comfortable shooting a gun at their house.
But an arrow.
Well, don't shoot it at their house. See, that's where you're fucking up.
Well, what if the deer is between me and their house? Then I have to.
Do you not watch like Wanted or whatever it was? Don't you just bend the bullets through 'em?
So you're saying this is the Matrix and I bend bullets?
No, it's that other movie with where they're assassins and they bend bullets.
Is that what movie is that?
It has the guy from
It's not
like,
Red.
Slice. What? No, that's not Red.
Movie where
McAvoy's in it. Also, Angelina Jolie.
Oh, Wanted.
would do her. Oh, it is
Wanted. I said
Okay.
that.
Yeah, you're right. Oh,
Nailed it, dude. They made that crazy bullet that shoots around the earth.
yeah, let's calm it down.
Science, dude.
All right, I'll learn how to bend shotgun bullets and murder deer.
Did you hear that the guy who made Wanted, or not made it, but who created the comic, Mark Miller, his comic IP farm, which includes Kingsman and the Kick-Ass movies and everything else,
Solid.
just got acquired by Netflix. Netflix
for him,
bought
dude.
Miller World. Yeah, but he doesn't even make the comics himself because they get published either by Marvel through their creator-owned stuff or by Image. But yeah, this guy, aside from the movies that have already been sold, like Netflix just acquired his company, his IP essentially, which they've never done before. That is crazy.
They basically bought his entire universe.
It bought him out for like all the ideas and stuff that haven't been made into films yet, and probably stuff that's still coming
That's
up.
pretty rad. That's pretty rad because I really like his style of stuff. I thought Kingsman was a ton of fun.
Yeah. And the sequel's coming out pretty soon.
I mean-
And that's the thing is, I don't necessarily love his comics as much, but the way that they get brought across to film, I haven't seen any of at least the first one of Kick-Ass. I didn't like the second one as much, but the Wanted, Kingsman, and Kick-Ass were all great. You know, they did something different. They were crazy. They were up in the air, just nuts.
Yeah, Johnny Cash is getting the whipping.
What are the odds that either of you watched the new Power Rangers movie?
I did not bother
I
with
haven't
that
seen
one.
it.
All right, fine.
I don't have nostalgia for that shit. I never cared about Power Rangers. You know what the truth is? When Power Rangers were big, I was like in middle school. I never cared about Power Rangers because I was doing other really cool stuff, like playing Magic the Gathering.
No way you played Magic?
Yeah, I totally played Magic.
Oh, wow, I never pictured you for the type.
Yeah, right, because I would leave football practice to go play Magic the Gathering.
How old were you when you touched your first boob? Pre or post Magic?
Eighth grade.
Under the shirt or over the shirt?
Don't remember.
Did you
Ninth grade for sure under.
Had you tapped your charisma card to touch a boob?
No, I just went in raw dog. I didn't talk a lot about Magic.
Fair enough.
It wasn't a hidden hobby, but I just knew none of my friends gave a shit.
Oh man, that blows my fucking mind that you did that.
Yeah, I hung out
What's
at
my
some
fucking
weird
mind that I
coffee
can't
shop.
figure out when I touched my first boob?
I'll tell you what. Between you, me, and the fucking however many people listen to this, because it's not really a secret. First chick that I made out with had a hairier back than I do at 30. Had a hairier back in
Not a
8th
good
grade.
look.
No, but I knew she would.
Echo.
I knew she would put out. I knew she'd put out.
It's nice, dude.
Broke up with her via note
Like-
through the desk.
Oh God.
Yeah, her
I
friends.
definitely had broke up with some chicks around that time that I just stopped speaking to. Just completely ghost.
Dude, I've done that. There was this girl I was dating. I came back from like partying one weekend, and I was just like, "Hey, you want to get together?" And she goes, "Nah, I'm busy." I'm like, "Cool, I'll talk to you tomorrow."
Sweet.
Never talk to her again. Like, I think she still has my Atreyu sweatshirt and one of my shirts.
No.
I'm like,
You should
cool.
send her a text.
No, the last time I looked her up on Facebook, she had a couple kids, and I'm like, I'm not. Nope.
I had a chick I went out with. She turned out to be awful. She had a real habit of like blowing other dudes. I wasn't into it.
It's really
That sounds awesome. Where's
Yeah,
that girl?
Yeah, right. The cuck thing wasn't not my style.
I can,
and
I can
then,
certainly make matters worse.
Yeah, we later broke up, and then through all of it, I guess she was a drunk. during some step in the process decided she had to apologize to me for being awful while we were went out. And I just responded with, I was like, no, you're not forgiven for anything. You're awful. Let's just be clear. I'll dislike you forever.
Fucking wow. She's like, I can't pass step 8. Matt won't say it's okay.
No, she gave it a go.
Yeah.
Fuck her. She didn't get a pass.
The girl that I lost my virginity to died of a heroin overdose on my brother's birthday. Yes. Take that in.
Like while
Was
you
it
were
at
together?
your brother's birthday?
No. So okay, I guess I should the long story. So
Were you all together?
No, this was
She didn't
like
write a note to you or anything, right?
years after the. I was like 15.
Okay.
I actually just ended Facebook or YouTube by hitting my space bar.
Oh well, that's
Can you start back up, or does it not let you do that?
It basically just says off air. Anyways, so
So did you just bring it back?
no,
All right, fuck. How many people were watching? We had hundreds.
500.
Nice. Probably super into it though.
At least one of them was. So, anyways, yeah, one day I just saw it was like a Sheboygan news posting thing, and it said like man charged in accidental overdose case. I looked it up, and it was the chick that I lost my virginity to. Her 8-year-old daughter found her dead body on the floor, and I was like, ooh,
That's not good.
new. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You upgraded from that one, bud. I don't think any of the chicks I've banged are dead.
I have an
No.
ex who hung herself a couple years ago after we were
Shit.
friends on Facebook and everything. Yeah,
A bunch of heroin.
Yeah, she just liked to party.
I don't know what was going on in her life and everything, but it was a surprise to everybody because there was no signs, like looking through her Facebook feed and stuff like that. There was nothing that
Fuck.
it made any sense at all. And then fucking weirder still. So my great uncle passed away. My ex-girlfriend kills herself, and I'm at a friend's house in Red Bluff helping them move into their new place. I check into their new place on Facebook when it was still kind of cool to do that, or at least I thought so. And 3 other people from my friends list check into the place randomly. My dead uncle, my dead ex-girlfriend, and my other friend's dog just all randomly check into this place. And I'm like, where the fuck am I? Because this is not right. And I just,
That's very strange.
yeah. Facebook is weird, man. Yesterday was the anniversary of the time that I reposted some picture of Burger Chef. And I, for some reason, got 22,000 likes on my Facebook post. Yeah, 22,000 likes on that post and over 5,000 comments on it for something that I had nothing to do with. I don't trust technology sometimes, man. Zuckerberg is just going to fuck everything up.
They got a lot of information.
Yeah. And they're okay with it. Like we talk about the Russian hacking thing and how they affected people's mentality of where their votes are going and stuff like that. It's not that they hacked fucking voting machines. They manipulated the system by targeting people and hitting them with news stories and stuff to fuck with their brains. But Facebook did that first. Facebook had gone through this thing where they're like, hey, you seem kind of depressed. We're going to try to push that a little bit further by showing you more negative posts. And, if you kill yourself, so fucking what? But Facebook started that shit. And so now we're supposed to be okay with Zuckerberg maybe running for president next? No.
Well, that's interesting. The fucking floodgates are open, man. We officially have a mascot that doesn't matter.
You can call him a cunt. Someone else has on the internet. He's not a
Man, here's the truth of it. What I wanted the entire time during the election process was a structure fire that all these people got caught in. Perhaps a Great White Show or something like that. I don't know what everyone does on the weekends, but if all of these people could lose, that was what I was hoping for.
That was the best case scenario, is that everyone somehow lost.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. I just don't understand how we've gotten to a point that with 350 million people, we should have like 12 candidates that are just more amazing than the one before it.
Yeah.
Somehow they get
But
worse every year.
it became
The problem
a
is
popularity contest with
nobody
parties.
wants that fucking job.
Oh no. You saw the last president, how much it broke him down over 8 years, and the kind of abuse that the guy went through.
Every president.
God damn.
And you can look at before and after of that 8 years or 4 years, and it's 2 decades.
Yeah.
It just crushes people. Not to mention, it doesn't pay great for that job.
Is not great to you.
For that job?
That job? No.
Like some dude who owns McDonald's makes more than $500,000. Now listen, if you're a president, don't get me wrong, you finish up your thing and then you go on a speaking tour and you make ungodly sums of money.
Yep. But don't do it beforehand.
For $500,000, those 8 years are ugly. You also $500,000 forever.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Don't you make? I didn't know if it was $500,000 or just X amount of money for the remainder of your life.
No, I think you get the whole salary forever.
Well, there are some perks. And I don't hate anybody for making that. It's a shit job. It is not something. The amount of people who come up and just say, I would never want to run for president. I would never want to even subject myself to running because the invasion of your life and stuff.
You become the biggest celebrity in the country with the least amount of privacy and the most obligation.
Yep.
Oh, cool. You didn't fucking star in Iron Man and get paid $40 million goddamn dollars.
And that's the thing is like anybody who really wanted the job for the right reasons is so much of a believer that they kind of would scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember what it was I read, but it was basically saying that like anyone truly qualified for that job isn't interested in the job.
They're doing other better things.
Yeah. No fucking way. It's also really weird that one person is basically in control of all that. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe they have actual less power or they have the amount of power that I hope they have, which is very little. Which is why our system stalemates and blah, blah, blah. But cool politics talk.
Yeah, I don't believe
Welcome.
the president really makes any decisions whatsoever. I think someone else.
No, I agree. In the words of Bill Burr, though, I'm not stressed about us having this friendship. Putin's a gangster. I'm all right with that guy thinking we're friends for a bit. He doesn't have to test his nukes.
Right.
They work. And sometimes you need a badder wolf to keep other ones away from the door. Putin can play that.
Which is weird because he's kind of a bitch. I'm scared to say it.
Putin?
Well, okay, so hear me out. So there's pictures of like him on the internet riding a horse, and he's pissed and he doesn't want him out there.
What? He's shirtless. He looks awesome.
And that's part of it is like, you don't look half bad, but you're fucking Putin. Like, just whatever. There's a picture of me riding a horse, but if you cross me, I'll just fucking start you on fire.
Yeah.
I just assumed he was getting paid by Old Spice.
That's a good call. You think they'd have to really be a weird contract to go through? We're interested in sponsoring Vladimir Putin.
You're not Irish Spring, are you? Because there's no fucking way I'm gonna go for Irish Spring.
Oh man, I bet having a fucking tire iron or crowbar shoved through your.
Oh man, that's a gnarly part of the film.
Yeah, there's the gore in it's pretty sweet.
Minimal.
Yeah, it doesn't hold back. It's visually it stands out as the kind of thing. But again, Wolf Creek kind of does too. Wolf Creek came about 2 years after this. So I wonder how much it was stealing away from what this movie had done. And just,
yeah, for sure. I liked Wolf Creek though. It was definitely it was gnarly.
Yeah, it was kind of like
it's
Hostel.
not like a happy ending, right?
No, it's not at all. I mean, one of the people gets away because he just wakes up and says, "Fuck this shit and fuck everybody that I knew, and I'm just gonna run through the goddamn desert now."
Right.
But yeah, it's a vicious move, and it's just a guy who's just killing people because he enjoys killing people. He just thinks it's okay. And if you do watch the TV series, I haven't seen any of the sequels, but I watched some of the TV series. It starts out where he goes after this family, and it does not hold back at all. I mean, it could just as easily have been in the movie because he just rips them to shit. But then one of them survives, and it becomes a show about her with some scenes of him intermixed, but it takes a while for it to come back to like she's trying to go after him. She's trying to find this guy and get back at him. And I don't know how that ever is supposed to work out.
No, it's a weird deal when the bad guy, like the serial killer thing, is always such an interesting twist because there isn't a motive. Like you didn't enter his property, he just wants to hurt you.
Yeah, I'm just out here in the outback, and I'm crazy, and I'm bored.
And I'm bored. Yeah.
I think that's the most terrifying idea. Is that I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a little fucking weird about it, but it's like I live in the middle of nowhere. If someone just shows up and they're like, "I'm bored, I'm gonna fucking kill you,"
Right, it'd be straight like Purge.
there ain't shit around. Like my nearest neighbor is like a third of a mile. Like I ain't running.
More guns, man.
I got a few, but I agree.
Attaboy.
Yeah, you can never have too many at this point. But
You can have a death knife.
I hear you flicking that thing. It's making me nervous.
Sorry.
No, never be sorry. But I agree with what you're saying. It's like I need fucking cameras and knives and shit, and just.
No, because then what if you look at the camera and you just see like for 3 hours like some rando stood in your yard?
Dude, did I ever tell
I'd
you-
rather just not know.
So at our old house, I had a camera above my front door, and there was one night.
What?
It was 2:15 in the morning, and there's just a fucking dude staring at my front door.
Like on your on your porch?
Mm-hmm. And
No fucking way.
I woke up my wife, and I'm like, I fucking checked this shit out. Like I can't go to sleep. And it ended up just being some kid who was trying to see our street address because he was trying to get the fuck to the right house.
Well, how did you determine that? How did you figure out this kid's motive?
He was staring at the house numbers, and I asked one of our neighbors, and it was someone waiting for someone to come over.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no fucking way.
That's how we moved.
Yeah. I'd have set the place on fire immediately. Just a preemptive strike.
The chick that bought our house has 6 cats, so that house is effectively ruined at this point.
I hope it has like sick cats. Like, wow.
Cats are never healthy that long. It's
No.
certainly not consecutively. There's going to be piss and shit and
Yeah,
throwing
and they
up all over the place.
100% can't be trusted. That's rule number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you won't see a cat come to your door and look at the number. It's a cat you don't see that will get you.
That's true.
So when I
They
was
come at you from the side like velociraptors. One of them's got he's all fucking willy-nilly with a yarn ball. Next thing you know, fucking straight out of the side.
So we have fucking 6 chickens right now.
All right.
For eggs? And
Yeah, oh, yeah.
bugs, and they eat bugs.
Yeah, they'll eat anything. They're goddamn dinosaurs.
Oh
Yeah.
Which is where I'm going with this. So we have 2 of them. They're called turkins. So they look like turkeys. So from the head to the neck, no feathers.
All right.
So I'm fucking mowing the lawn yesterday, and my wife texts me, and she just goes, "One of the fucking turkeys just velociraptored a vole." And I stopped and I went inside. I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" She goes, "I don't know. I saw this vole hopping, and one of the fucking turkeys just grabbed it, and you just see the head shake and throw the fucker, and then all 4 of the baby chickens run over there and just eat the fucking shit out of the thing."
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're fucking terrifying monsters.
Yes.
They're also stupid as shit.
Oh, dumb as block.
Yeah. Go faster than spit, dumber than hell.
Tell that to that fucking vole though.
Oh,
Shit.
True.
Yeah, that thing's dead as fuck, and I'm sure there's more because there's plenty of them in my yard. But
Dude, they'll hammer down. They'll eat mice.
you just go outside with something that they think is food, and they will just come sprinting at you.
They fucking attack your shoes.
They haven't done that to me yet.
They'd eat you given half a chance.
That's a very good point.
If you
I
just
had a
laid out
turkey-
there for 30 minutes and pretended you were dead, they're coming, dude.
They're just buzzards at that point. They're just
Yeah.
fucking birds of prey.
They're
had a
fucking
turkey-
dinosaurs.
Get between me and my car, and I could not get in my car. He was blocking the driver's side of what was my new bug when I worked for Geek Squad. And I'm like, get away from my car. Get the fuck away. And I could not get him to shoot. He just did not give a shit about me. I had to go to the other side, get on the passenger side, and then he chased my car down the street as I drove away.
I'd kick that turkey's ass. 100%. Yeah. Like the only thing that would happen around here would be like some goose. I think there could be a chance there was a goose like between the car and me, and like geese are mean as shit, but I'll fight a goose. I'm gonna win.
They're double birds.
I'll karate chop its neck. Just fucking good chop. Not to mention they don't have like sharp teeth or anything. They use that stupid beak. I'll punch them right in the nose. Same way you scare a shark off. Underwater jabs. Oh, it's almost time that I'm gonna go to bed. I am an old man, which only means we can do this again.
Really nothing wrong with this. We're always waiting on you.
I know. My schedule gets stupid. I really thought this being unemployed thing would lend to more free time.
You're somehow more busy.
I'm much more busy. I need more hours in the day. Is there a way to sort that out? I already don't really like, well.
I think it's called
do
meth.
sleep. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Help you.
See, I like drugs that go the other direction. I have a tendency to not sleep great, and I have a tendency to not be able to slow the old brain down. And so
Meth would just do the opposite of what you wanted.
meth would be bad news. Yeah, I don't like Adderall either. What I really don't like, however, is opiates. Those are no fun for me.
See, I used to eat pain pills for fun.
Who did?
Me.
Oh,
I used to
Well,
fucking eat Vicodin and shit and just play video games.
no, man. See, that's no good.
No, and that's now that I'm older, and I'm like, wow, man,
Yeah.
that really fuck you up. But at the time,
Yeah,
it
that's
makes
bad
sense,
news.
man.
Well, of course it's not. You're fucking taking heroin and playing video games. It does sound like a good time. I mean, the only thing I'm stoked about of this upcoming surgery is that I get another run of Versed and propofol before they put me out.
I don't know what either of those are.
Versed is whatever, like their injectable form of like this Valium relaxation stuff. Phew, don't give a shit.
None of that shit works on me.
Woof.
Every time
I-
someone's giving me something like this will make you just not care. It's like I fucking care more.
No,
I
I
get
do.
mad.
Corey
Me-
dropped
me-
my bladder's about to blow up.
Yeah.
Me and Versed will totally switch to party mode as soon as it hits me. Like I'm basically asking for it as soon as I'm at the hospital. I'm like, you guys, we can go ahead and get that started anytime you want.
Everybody was saying, so what kind of drugs did they give you at the doctor when you had a car accident? I said, she told me to take some ibuprofen. She told me to up it to 600 milligrams every couple hours or something like that. I haven't taken any. It was just, well, that sounds like a pain in the ass. I'm just going to not do that and just kind of suck it up and walk around with a leg brace on.
Yeah, it depends on how jacked it is. Like I know I ended up having to take a bunch of pain meds. Like when I was at the Arnold this year, like my leg was real mad at me. And those are like worst case scenario just to help me sleep. But while I was in California, I'd pissed off my knee, and the Percocet or whatever has taken a weird turn, and so like my body shuts down and gets real comfortable, and I'm not in pain, but my brain takes off, and so it's almost like I'm in some weird lucid dream state instead of actually resting.
Yeah, I get really conscious. And all the things that are supposed to like make you relax and stuff, it doesn't affect me that way. And so I get angry because it's like now I'm more aware of all of this shit that's going on, and I know stuff is fucked up and I can't do anything about it.
Right. Yeah, no, it's I don't like it. I try to stay off of them. I have found a ton of luck though with like CBD oil.
Okay.
So that stuff I am a huge fan of.
And she did mention something about some homeopathic stuff, and I forgot what it was. And I just that sounds like a store that I'm probably not going to go into because it smells like armpit hair. But I appreciate the recommendation, and I'm not against any of that stuff. I'm not against anything really. I'm for legalizing drugs.
Sure.
Obviously, not the shit that's going to like completely fuck you up and ruin your life, but so much of that is
even
then it's kind of your choice. But I'm worried about people who are fucking driving around on it.
No, for sure. I'm with you 100% there. And as far as legalization of drugs, I still believe that instead of the money we spend locking people up and chasing, you could spend that money educating and doing stuff like that. And
Right.
education to me is far more, valuable than the actual privatized prison system or.
And it's like booze. You're not able to get away with the shit that you do when you're drunk. There's laws against that. It's just no one's stopping you from getting drunk in the first place.
Look, there's no viable right for someone to be able to explain to me why X is illegal but alcohol isn't.
Right.
I mean,
But it just
I'm for all.
But to that point, I've done a lot dumber shit while drinking than when I was high.
Oh, of course, but
And
I mean,
that's-
so where do you draw the line? Then you say cocaine's not okay.
I agree.
You know what I mean? That's where I end up looking at stuff.
I guess if you want to make,
I mean, right. I realize the difference is saying hard drugs. Well, you should police it like alcohol. It all should be taxed as well. I mean, in Nevada and Denver and stuff like that, like they're
fucking money they made.
not only that, like they're taxing it like fucking almost 40%.
Yeah, we just passed some of the laws here in California for that kind of stuff. Our local things of what the taxes are for the storefronts and stuff in my county, and
Right.
that's exciting. It's exciting to me because I know that those taxes are going to go to where I live, and that's great. And it's also going to make it more exciting for other people to come be here and spend money here, and maybe I'll be able to sell my fucking house for more than I bought in at.
Yeah, they
Right.
put it on a bill here under the guy, like basically saying we'll pay off our debt if we legalize it here,
Yep.
and that's what they're going for.
Fucking Colorado gave money back.
Well,
I mean-
and not only that, but you think about the fact that Colorado dispensaries made $1 billion in like a year.
Yeah.
That is $1
Well,
billion
like, people-
that
yeah.
drug lord is not.
The
That's Harry Potter
prohibition
money.
on the prohibition on marijuana is weird too, with everything back to William Randall Hearst and like why it was made illegal to basically block growth of hemp.
Yeah.
And then the media at the time putting out stories that white women was getting raped.
which is not dissimilar from how things are being pitched now.
God,
You know,
it's
fucking rapists are coming over here. Oh, I don't like rape. I should vote against that.
right. Well, I mean, vote for the other person if you're also into rape.
Yep.
If you're pro rape, you could give Hillary the vote. Is what Trump basically did. What a disaster that whole thing was. That's where we're at. It's a win-lose sporting event reality show. That's all it has become. Yikes. I mean,
Which
look, I
is
don't know
a
anywhere
great
that
excuse to
things
get
feel
high.
much better. That's the other thing. I don't think anywhere has got it completely sorted out.
No, you look at what's going on with Venezuela right now, with basically like, hey, all the people who are against me, yeah, it's funny. They're all drug addicts. I think I'm going to send the cops in their homes and raid them and shoot them. But it's okay because they're breaking the law. And also, we're going to have a special election where I can rewrite the entire Constitution the way I see fit.
It's not a dictator, though. Totally different.
No. Totally different.
Right. He's just a passionate speaker and wants to get rid of a certain type of person.
Yeah, and the people love him.
Right.
Or they have to say that.
Yeah, that's very true. That's also, I mean, it's a pretty good tactic. Pull off that level of people having to get on board. I always wondered with the Hitler thing, right? Like, do you think there was times that like people just showed up to some big giant rally because everyone's going and he's up there all fucking shaking his fist and pounding podiums and he's like, we're going to bring Germany back to its former glory. We're a world leader of a country. We're the best. And everyone's like, yeah. And he's like, we're going to kill the Jews. And he's like, whoa, did he say kill the Jews? But he's saying a lot of other good stuff.
Right. That's my problem with any kind of organized thing. Organized religion, organized politics, organized this. It's like when you get a bunch of people together, you might start out with a common ground of some pretty good ideas. And then the more people you add in, it's like, oh, I like all those ideas. Oh, I like all these ideas. By the way, I'm bringing this other thing to the table. It's like, oh, shit. No, you shouldn't have brought that, Dave. Kind of back off. But Dave's with us on these other things. We need Dave because it's making this other shit help happen. Well,
no one talks
yeah,
about Hitler's 98 other good ideas.
yeah, exactly.
Everyone gets real caught up on the genocide thing. Right? Yeah. Do you think that at some point, like right now, there's two dudes in Germany who are like this close, dude? We almost took this whole bitch over.
I'm sure there's more than 2 dudes.
Yeah, with these two dudes specifically. Pacific Ocean.
The last two were sitting at East Berlin going, but I like this wall.
Yeah. It was nice, dude. It was separate but equal.
Yeah. Now I gotta fucking look at the subway.
Right. Underground, as they call it, the tube. I'm so worldly. I know these things.
That's one nice thing about having you on is you are far more educated in certain topics than I am. Can't speak.
Nice. No, Corey's a smart one here.
I don't know shit. I just guess a lot.
I get drunk and record it.
Nice.
That's my part here.
I just chime in and do the same.
Yeah. I gotta ask, what's your shirt? I wanna see that shirt.
It's from company Victor Wrench. And it says, may the bridges you burn light your path. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, cool company. Chick who runs it's real nice.
What are the what's their deal?
Has some type of military type stuff background. Other than that, I do not know.
You seem to be in the know, so I like to ask you.
I mean, I don't know the whole story. She's nice. I met her through another friend, and tried to help with if they want to start trying to get stuff manufactured that I could help. I know some folks.
I'd
Yeah.
like to get my own blend of coffee made. Can you help me do that?
I could, yeah.
I know, and that's like I know that there's bands out in Minneapolis that are getting their own coffee roasts done. And I'm like, that'd be really fucking cool, but
It is cool.
no one cares about me or my band.
Sure, but look, no one gave a shit about Hate Brand when I started it either. I just wanted to make stuff I wanted.
I don't feel
If
gotta-
you can make enough coffee to sell enough coffee that you get free coffee.
that knife again. You see the fucking knife?
Because he's making a point.
This one's a fucking good one. Fucking.
All right, so then hook me
You
up
could
with
chop a
the-
camel right in the hump with this thing, drink milk straight off the tip of it.
Then you hook me up with whoever I gotta. I need a Drown the Lifeguard coffee blend.
Okay. I will email you my coffee roaster.
Oh, Jesus, all right.
He is in Kansas.
I love Kansas. I'm going there in September. Next month.
Baller.
Kinda. It's for a wedding. No one loves weddings.
No. I think I'm actually at a point in my life, right? Like there's, I guess now that I'm an ordained minister. Yeah. You too? Nice.
I performed a wedding 2 years ago.
I was gonna do a wedding, but the bride didn't like my earrings.
So wait, all three of us are goddamn ministers?
Yeah.
It's not that hard
Fuck
to do.
yeah.
Don't act like it's some big fucking.
Yeah, but it is a goddamn big deal.
I was very close to going into the priesthood though when I was
Oh.
in my late teens.
I was not. Me and JC never particularly got along ideally.
I give JC a lot of my time.
I got a lot of questions.
And there's
I
nothing
did-
wrong with that. My
Yeah.
Sure.
wife and best friend are atheists.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah. Well, to each their own, you know.
Yeah. I don't think I'm technically an atheist.
Presently wearing a shirt with an upside down cross on it.
Yeah, but it's got other bits.
Yeah, there's nipple bits and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more agnostic. I'm not cocky enough as an atheist to say I know.
But
That's
here's
how
the
I
thing,
feel too.
Is me as a Christian will still say I don't know.
Yeah.
That's-
There was
Yeah, but you know the important bit. Like you do know or believe that an intelligent guy architected this whole thing, and we'll call him God.
Yes. Now,
See, that's where I very much differ.
you don't
Is that base cause? I think the universe exists, and I think the universe is the greater power that I believe in. But do I think an intelligent being purposely created all of us? No. I also don't believe there's a for or afterlife.
So I had
Which is
a good friend of mine passed away. It'll be 2 years ago in November, and he was the guitar player of a band in Kansas. I have a bunch of friends in Kansas, and the singer and I, the singer's wedding is actually the one I'm going down for in September. Whatever, rewind, and I recently told James, I said, "Hey, I want to go see, I want to see Jay's grave.
Right, right.
I want to pay my final respects and say goodbye." And he goes, "They didn't bury him. They just fucking cremated him and whatever." And he's like, "Why do you want to go see Jay's grave?" And I said, "Because I want to say goodbye." And he goes, "Yeah, you want to say goodbye. So you want to go for you."
Right.
And I'm like, "Holy fuck." Like, I never thought about it that way, that it's like, I just
Yeah,
want to go
'cause-
for me. And I'm like, and I had this existential crisis and all this fucking shit. And it's like, I realized at that point that funerals are just solely for the benefit of the person going.
Yeah, the dead person
Absolutely.
doesn't care.
Nope, they're
And
very
that's
Elvis has left the building.
that's what Wakes do really well. Wakes do
Right.
really well because it's like a celebration of that person by the
Or it
people who
should
love
be.
them. But they all gather together and it's for them. You know, you leave everybody
yeah.
on a higher note than a sour note. And if I, whether or not I believe in the afterlife, and I'm up in the air on either or on that, but I don't think that people are going to find me, if there's an existence of me still somewhere, at the place where my body is buried, because that's not a place that I frequented. That wasn't the place that I loved. You know, you want to find me, look at the places that I actually like to be, and most of the places that I like to be would be around those people.
Right.
So, you know, if you could find me, you're gonna see me where my wife is. You're gonna see me sitting here in this fucking chair talking to Matt every week, or something akin to that.
sucks if that's where you're buried. You should find a hobby.
That's the shit that I love. And so
Right.
try to leave your legacy in the things that you do and the people that you know and love, and the world that you make, because
Yeah, I mean, if I give any type of belief to like afterlife, right, it's just simply what memories and life experiences that you've put on to people who are still alive.
yeah, and that's a passing of energy. You know,
Right.
if you want to take it in that regard, then it's my synapses kind of affect your synapses, and that's how we move along.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's natural as the
yeah,
weather.
that's definitely what I feel about it. And that you know, I for the life of me believe that the universe maybe has something else, in the cards. But with that said, I believe the universe, if that is what we're calling, that I would consider the creator or the higher power, it is indifferent of my existence.
I personally get that warm and fuzzy thinking that there's something bigger than me, because
Sure.
thinking that I am the top is too much to comprehend.
Well, I see. I don't understand where the jump comes from. Thinking that there's something bigger, or that feeling like you're at the pinnacle of it. See, I definitely don't know if I think that there's this, like I said, an intelligent architect. Typical idea of God.
And I don't necessarily say that there's an intelligent architect, as you're putting it. I'm just there. I don't know. There's something. There's some comfort in knowing that there's something smarter than you that
Mhm.
has some idea of what's happening.
Oh, like a plan. See, that's where I run
And
into it. I
I'm
don't
not
think there
saying
is.
that there is a, what I believe in, the fact that there is a Christian God who has some sort of idea of how my life should go, and that when I die, I go to quote unquote heaven. I'm not saying
Sure.
I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying Corey's
You're
wrong.
you're saying this works for you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
And the basic idea is that I feel comfortable saying that there is something bigger than me that knows more than I do.
Right.
This
See,
concept that that I am the top, like that humans are the top of the intelligence chain, I guess, blows my fucking mind, because yes, we're smart as a species, but I feel like there's easily smarter.
Well, even without religion, I don't believe that humans are the top. That's just
Oh,
like
same,
the
yeah.
coolest guy in the room, and then somebody else walks in the room and they're way fucking cooler than you.
Right.
But I will say that when it comes down to, and I'm open to a lot of different things when it comes to religion. I've studied a lot of different religions when I was trying to figure out where I was going to find my place in it. When I look at the universe, and the universe is gigantic and infinite and expanding and everything else, and I keep thinking, yeah, but at some point there's got to be something outside of that, right?
That's the scary part of infinite.
Because everything, my brain says everything is finite. Trying to grasp infinity is just too much for me as a human being to do, and I'm a semi-intelligent
It's like
guy.
walking up to the edge of a room and getting to a wall, but then you could reach past the wall.
Right. And so the idea of that there's a beginning and an end, there's an alpha and omega and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, but before that beginning, there had to be something else that made the beginning. And that to me is where faith lies, is the fact that there's something that's just so extraordinary that I cannot even fathom it as the person that I am. And so, yeah, I believe that there's something bigger than us. I believe that there's something outside of this world besides us, but it's not necessarily Catholicism or Christianity or Buddhism or anything else. It's just, I have to believe there's something more. So I don't think that I'm the greatest achievement. I don't think that I'm what all that life is supposed to be. But I don't have a problem with it either, because I do believe that whatever else is more is something that maybe someday I'll reach and maybe someday I won't. And not reach as like become, but reach as just maybe death brings us to that understanding.
Right.
Or it doesn't. And we just go away and we just keep pressing on. That's the whole point of nirvana, is to just keep being reincarnated to try to reach that zenith of understanding and betterment.
Man,
and maybe that's not something that you do in yourself. Maybe that's something you do in others.
I like the idea of reincarnation. I like the idea of getting a second run at this. Life,
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with it. I tend to look at like what type of codes you can break, right? And so like something you notice within like our world is, basically fractals. This exists everything, and things happen cyclically. So, that's through time, and time's infinite. And so, I mean, there's a thing that's weird to me that, the way, the look of how we lay out what an atom looks like, right? That also looks like how the solar system plays out. And so, I mean, if, perhaps the Big Bang is just simply one atom's nuclear fusion, and we're really, really small.
Yeah.
Because
the Donald Sutherland Animal House theory.
Yeah, and at some point I guess if we're looking at just scale of things, if all of the known universe is, part of another atom inside of this other bigger thing, I mean, that's fractal too. And so size is actually kind of irrelevant. Because if size is infinite and everything's infinite in all directions, including time, see, that's where I start to find comfort. Is like the further I dive into that, and the more that I feel like insignificance of my life,
right?
In the grand scheme or the grand plan, I find a lot of relief from anxiety because of that. A lot of relief from the rat race, for a lack of a better term, because it doesn't fucking matter. And so, do what makes you happy.
Yeah, and what makes me happy is trying to bring happiness to others. Right.
Most
of who I am is built on empathy.
Yeah, most people take the do what makes you happy thing as this really selfish, like I'm just gonna fucking, basically the purge. I'm gonna run around and commit murders and do drugs. Like fucking Christian or atheist or whatever it is, or agnostic. Like morals are not dependent on being part of any of those. You can still not be a piece of shit. That one's a pretty certain goal that doesn't really have to do much with people's beliefs. I think church and the Bible and all that served a very good purpose for a long time. I think people, before literacy and all this, needed to be educated. There needed to be rules. There needed to be things, and it was much easier to say, "Dad says so."
But it's true, I agree with what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm not someone who likes to tear apart other people's beliefs. That's the thing, is I would rather explore them and find out what I can grab from that to make something work for my frame of mind. And certainly maybe my frame of mind gets adjusted by it. Maybe I
There's
learn
nothing
something.
wrong with taking what works for you and ditching the rest. I mean, just
Exactly.
something had 10 bad ideas, but 5 good ones doesn't make the 5 ones shitty.
Yeah.
Well, depending on how you look at stuff, there's definitely a crossover of insanity that if someone reaches with their beliefs that I can't go back the other direction on.
The mentality of closing off to everything else bothers me a little bit, and asking other people to close off to everything else. And when I grew up, I went to Catholic school for a number of years, even though we weren't really part of the church and we weren't practicing Catholics or anything. But I went to Catholic school, and I don't remember, even at that point in time, like I had some problems with the religion class and the things like sometimes they would teach you stuff and it was you could get a wrong answer when they ask you your opinion. That bugged me even as a kid. But more often than not, and certainly every other religion that I was a part of growing up or seeing as I was exploring stuff, there wasn't a fight against science from the religious side. And now it seems that that's the very popular thing to do is a science denial thing. And that bugs me. And I know that that's not something that religion is really pushing. That's agendas politically that is being pushed.
However,
so I don't blame.
There are the religions that push ideas of, well, I guess look, faith doesn't push away science.
Right.
But religions with an agenda, like you said, do. And like I really run into trouble like with like the creationist route and some of the other like things that like if some of those things are something that you're going to take as fact, like you have to wave bye-bye to a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. And you have to accept a lot of stuff that maybe doesn't make sense either. The pinholes of like, yeah, but your religion said this. Well, we don't really believe in that. Well, you kind of are expecting an all or nothing from us.
Well, that's how it works. Like,
yeah,
that's one for me with the religion thing. It's like, well, that part's kind of crazy, but this part to me makes total sense. Like, well, you don't get to do that. Like, you're on a team. Like, if you're gonna say that you are one or the other, like if you're gonna say that you are as far as saying like I am Christian, not Christian, Catholic, then like there's some rules that make you that.
But there's so many factions, and it's the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm a Democrat, but I'm a Democrat socialist, or I'm not a Republican, I'm a libertarian, and stuff.
Yep.
That's the thing. The breakdown of these giant standards is what allows for separate thought and for new ideas and for a better relationship of the place that we're at can improve because we're not just labeling to the one thing.
Right. Labeling is a problem, above anything. I mean, but we really like, as a country, we really like being able to tie things up in a bow and say, that's that. It's a black and white issue when almost everything lives in some version of gray.
Warning.
And because you can poison a word, you can say feminism is a bad thing because all of these things that feminists believe, and I don't agree with them. It's like, but feminism isn't a bad thing, but you've turned it into something that is, or social justice warrior, which sounds like the greatest fucking thing in the world to be, but it's a poison term because people on the internet have just screamed it out loud, pointing fingers at people, and it's like
we live in a very interesting time. And the thing I always think of with all of that, right, with your social justice warriors and your stuff that's happened at some of the colleges in the Pacific Northwest and these just insanity from the hive of that type of stuff as far as it'll go. Like the only reason any of this stuff is in the news or we have time to think about it or any of that is because our lives are so soft.
Yep.
That this is honestly something we have time to deal with. Like 2 generations ago to my grandparents, like they didn't have adult coloring books. Like you don't get to fucking give me your hardcore speech on social justice and who we need to protect when like you need to just de-stress your day today by playing with an adult coloring book. Like my grandfather would be like, "What are you so stressed about? Were you out fighting Nazis?" That's what I did all afternoon.
Which
It'd be cool to
first of
take
all,
a few plays off.
I love the idea of an adult coloring book because I would pick up a coloring book and color anyways, because it's just sometimes it's fucking fun.
Right.
But it is a weird place to be that it's become a therapy when it's like, but and I don't begrudge anybody having therapy.
Well, sure, but like you get to have an adult coloring book and then have an opinion of whether this adult coloring book sucked compared to a different one.
Right.
Because this afternoon you didn't have to go kill your food for dinner.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just an amazingly soft world that we live in. And
I love
I enjoy it because I love fucking air condition and I like that I've never basically been hungry my entire life. It's phenomenal. I do think it's nice to occasionally be aware of it. Like that, it's being aware of that type of stuff is the reason that like I'm not stressed about another knee surgery. Like, well,
The problem is a lot of society is not aware of the fact that
you could just stop the sentence there. They ain't woke.
exactly they don't understand that it could be a hell of a lot worse.
Oh, the entitlement. It's that this is now the norm and that's how things go. And I mean, not only that, like even really, really areas in our country that have poverty, right? Like, those areas still are not poverty like Mogadishu. Like there's no chance of climbing a ladder there to get out. There's no social programs. There's no dumpsters that have food in them.
Yeah.
It's even still different.
And I that's why I don't have a lot of complaints. Like I struggle like anybody struggles, and I sit there and I second guess decisions and go like, oh man, my life would be such a different place if I hadn't done that one thing and set out on this path. But I'm not dying. I'm not picking through garbage to eat.
No.
I'm
Life's real good. I don't have any complaints whether my knee works or not, or if I didn't have the leg. You know what I mean? Like things are cool. I'm comfortable. I don't pay my bills using my leg. I'm in a very comfortable spot. You know, I don't have to go roof houses for the next 8 weeks to make sure we have a mortgage payment.
yeah.
So
to that, you're a very grounded person.
I try.
And that's part of the reason that I can speak for Corey and I. We both like you because you're very successful, but you don't.
Well, it's all relative.
And that's the other thing is it's very relative. But compared to us, you're a somebody, we're a nobody.
Okay.
Which is.
But you don't treat us like that.
Exactly.
You don't act like that.
Well, because I still fucking pay money at Starbucks for coffee. You know what I mean? Like, there's not just fucking droves of people sending checks in the mail to me. I still go to the grocery store and get frustrated because it's full of stupid people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I've got a decent following on a couple different social media platforms, and if you look at that number of who's following compared to the general population of our country, it's amazing that I ever see anyone.
My wife is getting followers on her Instagram because of the art and stuff that she's been doing. She's been doing lowbrow art. She just had a couple of zines that one she was featured in and one she ran. And she hit 3,000 followers on Instagram the other night, and she's running a contest as a thank you. And she's done this a couple of times as it's gone along, and she's super excited. And she's got friends who are artists that are like way above her. It's like when we had Erica on here, who does the Apex and the Abyss podcast, who just hit an insane amount, 500,000.
Let's put this into perspective. We have 100 episodes. Let me pull this up here real quick. Erica has 23 episodes, 25 episodes, right, Corey?
Yep.
Of her podcast.
Yeah, for a podcast. 500,000 downloads.
That's a lot.
For true crime. Now I'm trying to buy time here while fucking Blueberry.
We're at about the 50,000 mark.
Yeah, we're about 50,000 for 100 episodes.
Right.
But it still blows our minds that we're at 50,000.
Yeah,
or
it's
anything
relative.
close to that.
You know, and that's basically the same way like growth with hate brand's been, right? Like a year ago, if you would have told me that we're doing a month what we're doing right now, I'd be like, get fucked. Like, I can't even imagine that would even be relatively possible. And then if you said the same thing to me a year before that, it's the same answer. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure in a year from now, if I'm doing the same amount right now per month that we're doing now, I'll just be bummed, which is stupid.
But to me, it's like I said, if you look for me, this is where I like to be. Where we're at is perfectly okay with me. Not losing people is just, that's exactly all I want, is to not lose people's interest. But I'm sure that'll happen at some point, and we'll just go through our ebbs and flows and everything. But I have, like, it's not like I see Erica's numbers and I think, oh God, that's where we need to be, or that's where I want to be. I'm super happy for her, and she fucking deserves it. And she's amazing. Her show's amazing. The amount of work she puts in is way higher the level than what we're at. None of that bothers me, because I don't have that competitive nature. I just look at it as like, but there are people who show up. You know, Growly Bear shows up when we record our show.
Until I accidentally hit the space bar. And
You fucked up, but that's fine. He understood.
we're used to me fucking up. This is nothing new to anybody.
But
Weakling.
people listen to us. People like us. We've made such incredible friends out of this. You know,
Right.
like Jack and Dan, who mentioned us casually again this week on their show, just because they're awesome guys and they think we're awesome guys. That's the kind of shit, like, nothing else, no measurement, no fucking statistic on Blueberry or whatever else, or iTunes, is going to equal out to how I feel by having people like you and Jack and Dan and the guys from Ink Geek and everybody else in our lives like this, because that is spectacular to me.
Well, like, part of the reason I like doing this podcast, right, is because it's kind of the same vibe that I feel like I've really tried very hard to do with, like, my YouTube channel. And I really enjoy making video content and editing and doing all of it. But I feel like I'm the same guy there as I am on my channel. I'm not putting on a front, and like, I'm not putting out videos that are gross because I think they're going to get views. I don't want to do the same videos that 10 other people are doing. Like, I don't want to do a video fucking explaining my tattoos to you. I don't want to do a video trying to eat 10,000 calories. Like, I just fucking don't want to do it. I find it so boring. And so, like, that's not the content I'm interested in making, much less, you know, because then you're weaseled into making something because that got views and that got you this bump, and those people want to see more of that. And so then you're stuck fucking doing stuff you don't want to do. And that's basically the goal. Like, since the old job went away, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? Whatever the fuck I want to every day. That's my goal. And that's
I enjoy being me.
build a-
I like me.
Right. That's build a business. I feel like traveling. I can fucking leave if I feel like, you know, I still got responsibilities and shit like that. But day-to-day life, whatever the fuck I want to.
Yeah, and anything creative that I've ever done, I can't do for an audience because I'm not that good. You know, when I write a story because it's something that I want to write, not because it's something I know I can sell.
Right.
And that's who I am. But I don't disapprove of anybody who does that.
It's another skill entirely. I mean, and look, like, you know, being able to produce viral content is fucking impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I have a bunch of really great ideas that, like, oh, that'll be a million, you know, and I just don't do it.
No, but you did that video with Film Swag,
Yeah, those guys.
and that is still. There was like a week ago. I'm like, you gotta fucking watch this video. It's hilarious because
It's
you,
funny.
but it's like you cranked up to redneck.
Oh yeah,
and an
100%.
Asian.
Yeah, it was a really odd combo.
I thought it was fucking
And
hilarious. Though.
Oriental, I think, is
Well, you call them a lot of things, but
that was fun. Those guys are good dudes, man.
I thought
That was
and that's really your house, right?
yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird that you chose to do that, but
Nah, fuck it.
Our friend Travis did a video. Our friend Travis is a metal singer and everything, and did a video with a friend that was singing about manual transmission driving and how to drive a manual, and it's all done in metal, and it's hilarious and it's awesome, and it's one of those things that definitely has gone viral and gets a lot of attention. But it's so fucking Travis
Oh, look, don't get me wrong. If something happened, like if that video where I did that thing with the After Hours crew, like if that goes viral, like yeah, I was into that. That was fun. But it wasn't the goal.
Right. It was fun. That's the goal.
If something goes viral, it's a cool side effect of doing the thing you wanted to do.
Yeah. Because people, I think you even said this on the first show that you were on with us, is people can smell a fake. What I remember you specifically saying is, I don't remember who it was about, but you said he's in on the joke. He understands what this is about and what it's not about, and he's not putting himself up higher than what it is.
Right. That's a big key to me, basically for anything. And man, just be in on the joke that, like, no matter what level you're at, like, you realize this is kind of dumb. You know,
Like,
I mean, I hope that there's mornings that fucking like Puff Daddy wakes up, right? And he's just like, what the fuck, man? And like just shakes his head at his white tigers and then like gets up and laughs as he goes to, he's like, I just figured out some code that this all made sense.
yeah.
You know, I was able to produce enough of the weird sounds with my mouth that it pleased enough people's ears that they've given me all their money. It's very odd.
I went to a hotel and I was on the 5th floor instead of the 6th floor, and somehow everything just fell into alignment after that.
Right.
You know, and it doesn't discount the hard work that you put in, but it also doesn't elevate you as being like the only one who put in hard work.
Nope. And hard work does not directly equal success.
Yeah.
However, it is stacking the cards in your favor for whatever opportunity comes. Now, you can guarantee failure and you can guarantee not success. But if you have any interest in those, like the hard work's just part of it. It may or may not pay out at some time, but I guarantee you not doing it isn't going to work. Or if it does, it becomes so fleeting that you can't hold on to it. You see people accidentally stumble into a big pile of shit and then they can't run with it.
The celebrities who lost all their money in one way or another and then just struggle. Nick Cage making every movie he can, but working his ass off to get the money
like
back that he lost. Yeah.
And Sam Jackson don't give a fuck.
And I respect him for it. I may not like his films. I may not think he's the greatest actor, but he's doing everything he can to get himself back into a place of comfort. I've seen some of Wicker Man.
I mean, Wicker Man, Gone in 60 Seconds. I celebrated his entire catalog. Yeah, he's got the fucking Declaration of Independence.
And I fucking respect the guy because he doesn't give up.
You know, there was actually regarding like the Sam Jackson thing, like that was something I read in an interview because the guy was asking him, was like, you kind of do everything. Like there's not roles that he'll not do.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, the family I came from, like dad was real blue collar, was a worker in a factory. And so this is my job. Like, I need to be working. Like, I'm not that do one movie and then take the rest of the year off. Like, I'm here to fucking work. Like, there's voiceover to do. There's this I can do, you know.
And you appreciate that people will hire you.
Yep.
You know, and you can say no to a job. When I got laid off from retail, I worked really hard to try to decide to not go back to retail. Not because I hated it, but because I didn't feel like there was anything left I had to give or get from it.
Right. You know, I got a lot of job offers, you know, after you spend 10 years in that petrochemical industry, especially as a sales guy, like other companies are willing to hire you as a sales guy. You've already got a network and all this type of stuff. And it was really strange telling people, well, I either told people no, or when they asked me what it would take, I just gave a number that was ridiculous, that like, well, if they do pay me, I guess I'll do that for a while until they also decide to fire me because they can tell I don't give a shit.
The champ doesn't work in retail.
No, the champ's not going to work in retail, dude. He puts a foot up on boxes in the back and points at things.
I got to say, though,
clothes will sort themselves out.
I helped at the comic shop that one of my best friends owns while I was laid off and while I was looking for full-time work and everything. And I loved that. That reminded me of the first comic shop I managed out in Michigan. And I loved the customer base and I loved what I was selling and helping people with. And I'd love to help people.
Right.
That is something that I learned in retail, is that I really enjoy helping people, solving the problems, finding the right items for them, whatever it takes. That is what I most look forward to going to work every day. And I like problem solving, so that's why I wound up in IT. But I can see a situation where working retail is still rewarding, but I knew that working retail for a living and that struggle of what it was and where retail is right now wasn't going to be rewarding enough.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what it was for me. I knew I didn't want to be in that industry anymore. I can do it. I just didn't want to continue doing it. And if I didn't have to do it, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And the problem with it for me was it's those wasted days, that like fucking spending 10 hours in the car to go have lunch with people that I don't particularly want to even have lunch with. You know what I mean? Like, and then go laugh at jokes I don't give a shit about and play that role. I don't want to fake a bunch of conversations in my life anymore. I did that for 10 years. I don't want to play the game any more than I absolutely have to.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid doing shit that I have to like pretend to enjoy. I just say no. I just don't do it. There's plenty of friends that are like, hey, we've got, like a christening or some fucking thing that people feel obligated to go to. And I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to go to that. And they're like, oh, you stood in our wedding. I was like, nah, I don't care.
Which
Yeah,
is an impressive place to be because I find myself a lot of times like it's hard to say no.
Oh, see, I'm very, very comfortable with saying no. And simply just because I don't want to.
Oh, there's a lot of things I do that I don't want to do, but I would rather just do them than say no.
Oh, no, I'm completely the other way.
Yeah, I need to grow a pair of testicles.
Well, I mean, look, it's always a cost to benefit, right? I'm happy to say no to most things and what most people request of me. But I also don't ask for anything. Like, you don't get both.
And I feel terrible saying this, but I feel like I shouldn't say no to people because you never know when you may need to ask something of someone.
That's true. Now, there are people in my life that no matter when or what they call about, I'm there and I'm open to help.
Same here.
Yeah.
However, there's plenty of people that don't have that.
And I'm unlikely to be surprised at this point in my life, but there are still times when my instinct is to say no to something. But when I wind up saying yes and I go and I let it happen, I wind up enjoying it more than I ever expected to. Not all the time,
Oh,
but
hate
it
social
does happen.
interactions. I hate leaving my house.
Me too.
I just do not like being outside of my house.
Well, like that's like there's things I'll enjoy and not enjoy. There's some family gatherings I like doing, and other family gatherings I don't. A lot of it depends on like time of exposure. Like how long is this thing gonna last?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you like your family.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
brother-
yeah.
I do not get along.
Yeah.
I wish I
Yeah.
did.
See, the problem is if I didn't get along, right?
Yeah.
Like these are things that I would just say no, I'm not going to.
But
Like we've got a family vacation that we've kind of done like since we were kids, where like everyone goes to the beach and like cousins and all this type of shit. And I'm just at a point in my life. I went for a couple out of like, well, the whole family's there. Like I've got to go do this thing. And like after doing it for 2 years, I realized I didn't enjoy being there at all. And I'm just not going to go anymore. Like I understand my mom and some, my brother will be a little bit bummed, but none of that is enough for me to outweigh how miserable I was for fucking 4 days. And I know that sucks to say. It's like, oh, fucking poor you, beach vacation, so fucking tough. But I'm like, I'd rather just not go.
Yeah.
It was more of a vacation just me staying at my house.
I love a good home vacation.
Dude, I'm down hanging out here. Speaking of hanging out here, it is definitely time for me to crush and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Let's rate this movie real quick, and then we'll let you get out of here.
I'm going to give High Tension. Are we going to say High Tension without the opening?
We're doing the boner scale again.
It's going to change up a little bit.
Fair enough. Do whatever you want. We'll follow suit.
So I'm gonna give it two different ratings. So rating as is with what they were trying to accomplish with the plot. I'm gonna give it a 1.5 Lannisters. On the gore scale, I give it 3 Starks. And the version that say doesn't have the twist at all edited into it, and it's just simply like a thriller, I'm gonna give it 4.5 Targaryens. Overall rankings are red.
What? Overall rank the color?
Yeah.
Fuck, Corey, did you follow any of what just happened?
Well, I noticed that he landed on banana as a flavoring. So
Yeah, for sure. But grape colored.
yeah.
I feel like you guys plotted against me when I went to pee.
Everybody
What's
plots
your-
against you when you pee, Matt.
What's your ranking, Matt?
Okay. So the Lannister scale is based on including the beginning and the ending, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll give it 2 Lannisters because it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible.
Fair.
Then what the Stark was?
Starks.
The Gore.
Starks are for gore.
Starks are. Holy fuck.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, right.
I'll agree with the 3 for a Stark scale because Gore wasn't.
I'd say like 3 Starks and 1.25 Ramsay or
Ooh.
Bolton.
But what's the Ramsay?
You know,
Ramsay's torture.
yeah. There you go. That makes sense.
3 Starks.
Yeah.
And what's the third one?
The third one
Targaryens.
was Targaryens.
And what are Targaryens?
That would be for the edited version that didn't have the plot twist.
Oh shit, man.
You can see that shit off.
Easily without the beginning or the ending, 4 all day.
Yeah, it's a fucking great film.
Great movie.
Do you think just somebody's wife or husband was on set and they were like, "You said you were going to do the plot twist. Do the fucking plot twist." They're like, "Fucking fine.
We'll just fucking put the plot.
We'll do. We're gonna throw in this plot twist in 1 minute and 30 seconds in this fucking 90-minute film."
Most likely.
Got it.
Most likely.
Move
You're
on.
trying to ruin this movie.
Yeah, this guy basically wanted to fucking have Johnny Cash and a yellow sports car on set. He got stuck fucking having a dream sequence.
Watch women masturbate and shower.
He's got a fucking good gig going.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
Corey, it's your turn.
Uh,
Lannisters and shenanigans.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
Targaryen.
Lannisters is the movie with the beginning in it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that if the twist had been done better, I would have liked the twist.
Well, sure, but they didn't.
Right? No, absolutely. I'm
This
gonna give
movie
it
ain't
2.5.
fucking Fight Club.
I'm gonna give it 2.5 because of the fact that I think the twist could have been what set
Okay.
it apart. And what differentiates it from a Wolf Creek or other movies like that. I want to give them that for the potential of it, but they just didn't reach the potential, so it doesn't elevate above a 2.5. The Lannisters, the gore, it is a very good feature if you want to see someone just tear a family to shit.
Ripping and a tearing.
Yeah, if you like that kind of movie, The Collector is one of those things that I think would be up against this. Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5.
All right, 3.5 Starks.
And then the Targaryens, without the twist, I'm going to go lower because I think the twist gives it a better case for why this movie should have been made. I'm going to go 3.5 on that.
So you definitely ranked it overall blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in closing, I'd say
Easily kumquat.
check it out. I mean, or don't. It's your fucking life.
No, it's a great movie. There's nothing wrong with this movie.
There's a lot to enjoy in it. It's not perfect. It's not horrible. It's something that you get the experience of watching it, and you don't feel bad having seen it, but you
No.
will have criticisms.
Yeah, just because they didn't bother with a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
like needing it to make sense.
So
They just said, "Fuck that bit."
normally we have an outro, but I can't see straight. So, Matt, where do you want people to find you? With
I don't know. You can find me at all the regular places. Instagram, I hate Mad Vincent. You can buy stuff from me.
Please do buy stuff from him.
Yeah, at thehate.com. You can do that and support my lifestyle.
His lavish lifestyle of
I mean, that's basically what it is.
just knives.
You guys buy that stuff and you get to see me live my life, not having a job.
And I do
Thanks.
all the time. I'm like, I need a new coffee cup, Matt.
Beep bop, beep bop.
Yeah.
And it would sound kind of like a semi-dickish thing if the stuff wasn't so good. Because the
Nice.
stuff is good.
I have an argument with your shirts, sir.
What's the issue, son?
Print on the same fucking shirt.
They're all the same. Now they're different cuts because tri-blend or like the premium stuff
Yes.
definitely has a slightly different fit. But
And that's-
I wear XL and everything.
Fuck you and your I now wear XL.
It happens.
All lose 50 pounds on keto diets. Some
Could.
of us are still wearing 2X's so we don't look like overstuffed sausages.
Some of us love beers.
And
Too, that's cute.
I crushed a lot. Yeah, your newest shirt, she fits a little tight. Makes me look kind of like a fatty. But
Aw.
such is life. You got my money. That's all that I
My
can do.
wife bought a super vape pen.
Dude, my old guy had one of those.
This fucking douche whistle.
You're blowing wicked plumes. Now, is that a flavor or is
Birthday cake.
that's what?
It's birthday cake. It's fucking pretty great.
And you're married to a woman, right?
That's also true, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She blows out his candle and makes a wish.
Nice, dude. Fucking socking dingers over there, Corey.
Corey, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to treat him like a gay when he does stuff like fucking birthday cake.
I kissed his ass like a gay person would.
All I hear in the background is just.
It's like listening to Rogan's podcast. You just hear him constantly flicking the lighter. Kevin Smith's is good too. Smodcast.
Is it really?
I started out with the Smodcast. That was probably the first podcast that I was really listening to. That
I like when him and
Stuff.
Mosier get really into Canadian stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for Canada.
What?
Oh man, Canada's fucking great. You got All Dressed Chips. You got fucking Trailer Park Boys. You got Letterkenny. Victoria, Canada's awesome. Vancouver's awesome.
What of
They're
the-
basically like great redneck people. They're amazing.
Alright, you win. I was going to say, what of those things can you not get here? And then when you outline them as great redneck people.
Well, it's some mixture of like rednecks and what 1950s America is. What my brain says.
And they got invaded by French, obviously, which is bad, but they cordoned them off, which
Yeah.
is smart.
And they're still cocky and pricks.
One of our very good friends, JF DeBow, is French Canadian and is an awesome dude and a very good writer
It's the
too.
worst accent that any human can have.
He'll probably agree with you.
He can write a fucking book.
Oh, that a boy.
Fucking book.
Well, of course, because the rest of the time he sounds like he's got rocks in his mouth, or he's trying to kiss you the whole time he's talking to you.
None of these things you say are false.
That's right.
This is pure truth. I'll
Truthers. I like that.
We'll have to send you- he wrote a horror book that's pretty fucking good.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, big fan. But Matt and I both want to go to bed. Corey, where can people find you?
You know what? Nothing for me right now. Just go to look at my wife's Instagram, hag_attack. Look at some of the art that she's doing. She's killing it, and I'm very proud of her. So that's all I'd like to do. And Don't Ask Comics if you want to check out some of the comics that I'll publish for Levi Krause.
And then
Hell
where
yeah.
is her? Because she's drawn a shirt for me.
She is.
Shitty band I play in.
Nice.
Tell us about your band, Matt.
No.
Okay.
Even better.
No.
Fuck yeah.
No one wants to listen to us.
Why are you doing shows then, ass?
It's for the feel, Corey.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
goddamn
so I
love
can
of the
remember what it's like to be in my early 20s.
right. So I can be frustrated at 10 p.m.
Feel the regret of the 40s.
Why are we fucking old?
Oh man, we played a show. What the fuck was that last weekend? 2 weeks ago? I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore.
See, I'm trying to ramp up traveling. That's really what I'm trying to jack up here in the next like couple years. Like
I
really,
like to-
really getting loose on it.
I would like to be able to poop.
Metamucil.
I mean, that's my struggle.
Best. It's the fucking best. You'll never be number one unless you care about your number twos. Metamucil, holla at me. I'd love a scholarship. Yep.
If you want to visit the middle of nowhere, you let me know.
See, I'm thinking about this. This is like a trip that I want to do, and I've got a couple people on board. I need to figure out when. I want to go to Vietnam or like Cambodia,
Well, that's terrifying. I'm out.
and I want to buy a motorcycle and then just take off.
Well, if you buy a motorcycle and drive to Wisconsin, give me a call.
From Vietnam, that's going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to get it up to speed.
I didn't
Yep.
realize you were buying a motorcycle in Vietnam.
Yes, that's the idea. I'm going to spend like $500, buy a motorcycle in Vietnam, ride around the country, and then either give it away or sell it when I'm ready to go
How many
home.
people have told you that's a bad idea?
Well, it depends on who you want to go with. I'd say none have said it's a bad idea.
Have
Vietnamese
have
people
you
actually
said
like
it's a
us,
good
and it's cheap
idea?
there. Look, it's not like I'm trying to go to fucking Russia.
I feel like Vietnam and motorcycles are a poor idea.
What? They all about motorcycles over there.
But are they all about white people riding motorcycles over there?
They're into Western stuff. Yeah, they're not mad at us anymore.
All right.
I'm not trying to go to North Korea.
He likes playing basketball.
Hey,
That's what Bobby wants.
that's true. Rod Dog,
Yeah.
Big Worm, taking care of old Kim Jong for us.
Big perm.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. Like maybe Thailand, Cambodia, some Asian country where I can get around on a motorcycle. I'm not trying to like go to the AUE right now or to like any of the terrifying desert countries where they're trying to cut people's heads off. Those are off my list of things I'm trying to visit.
I mean, that's a solid plan to not get your head cut off.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Peru. I'd like to go to Argentina,
Yeah.
Patagonia.
Matt is
Oh,
worldly.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm not worldly. I know where things are on a map. I can say countries' names.
Compared to us, you're worldly.
I haven't been to that many different countries though. That's the thing.
You've been to more than we have, which is not hard to accomplish.
Yeah, but there's a shitload of them. I've been listening to the Henry Rollins stuff lately. It's got me.
Fuck.
mixed up.
And I was gonna make a comment about if you're gonna go to these weird countries, listen to Henry Rollins, but you
Yeah.
have already done that.
Yeah, I'm on board. Him and Ari Shafir
Yep.
have done some cool travel lately.
Funny, Ari Shavir likes doing stand up in Appleton.
Nice.
As does TJ Miller, which I think is insane.
Even better. I like TJ Miller a lot.
Yeah, TJ Miller's a good time.
Yeah, Ari basically bailed for like 4 months.
Don't blame him.
Just fucking took off and went to Asia and just kind of hung out. We got a flip phone and disappeared for 4 months.
Yeah, don't try to leave the country with the smartphone at this point, because your entire fucking world is gonna get just jacked when you try to come back in.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Well, let's all go to bed.
Let's go to bed.
You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Matt the Lifeguard and Untapped because I like to drink on a Tuesday night. Matt, thank you very much again for your time.
Hell yes. As always,
It's,
keep your blades close.
I like how you it's not 3.5 hours, but close to 3.
That a boy.
We'll have to do this again. But
Always.
the next time we'll start at like noon on a Saturday.
I like that.
So we can just ruin 2 days. So we'll ruin Sunday and Saturday as well.
I like it.
Do all of Twilight.
What if we played on 3 separate TVs at the same time? Because we like to party.
I was thinking about putting a TV in here because I may never move again. So
See, I like doing the podcast while the movie's playing. I think that's key.
Then, okay, let's plan on that next time. No one watches the movie beforehand.
Well, they're all
All
movies
together.
we've already seen.
Not necessarily. Depends.
Nah, you totally got to do your homework. You can't watch it live
Okay,
because then it's Mystery Science Theater, which is great. But
fine. Then okay. Then
I like that I'm invested. This isn't my podcast. I'm just fucking throwing ideas out.
this is what we have you back on.
Like I'm here every week.
I'm in the
You haven't led us astray so far, so
I've let you guys know I'm unemployed and now I'm the third wheel. I'm trying to third wheel a bunch of fucking podcasts. That's gonna be my new move. I'll slide into Mark's. I do y'all's.
There you go.
Man, Vincent's all over the place.
Just a third
No.
wheel on a podcast.
Third wheel.
Fine. Next time, whatever movie we decide on, or whatever movie you pick, we watch and then we rewatch as
Nice.
we podcast and we live commentary that fucker.
Yeah, we talked about a Serbian film, and I just don't know that I want to watch it again.
I will not watch that movie unless you want to watch that movie.
Have you
there are
never
certain
seen it?
movies that we've held out on strictly for you, and it's like,
Oh.
I really want Matt back on. I really hope Matt doesn't say he wants this to be the movie that he picks.
I watched it, and look, I mean, the thing is, it's a better shot film than I expected. The plot's not. I mean, it's fucking insane, but it's not bad. Like, there's less plot holes in that than there is High Tension.
I
But yeah,
can't
it's
really
a
comment
fucking
on it
bummer.
because I've never seen it, but I
Right.
can only assume that it's High Tension's got a lot of plot holes.
Yeah, a lot,
It was
a lot.
It was a really good movie.
Sure, a Serbian film is a good movie. It's
It's
just
just not what you want to see.
twice. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, there's
Because-
plenty of movies that I think are great films that I'm not interested in rewatching.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Like
you.
now that I've seen it, right? Like there's parts of it that are just so over the top insane that like you just think, oh, because you guys had to say we did the craziest fucking thing ever done.
So, how many people have to write emails at pod@gncast.com to get us to do Twilight for you to come back and do Twilight?
I don't know, 2. What's a good number? Because I'm into it.
It's really up to you. 'Cause I've heard
Yeah, I'm
stories
into it. But we're just gonna have to. I'll have to take some notes because we can't do 9 hours of Twilight. But what we should do is I should figure out a way to do.
So what if we do?
What if because we do Twilight, I also make my wife do it with us?
No, your wife is more than welcome. To
As a fan, she can also fact check.
yeah. So what if we just?
Because when I'm yelling about werewolves turning into school buses and why their shorts explode, where's this cache of jorts that they hide into the forest?
So what if we just like schedule out 3 days now?
Oof.
Not this instant, but like what if we just plan out like 3 days? Can you not fucking travel so we can do Twilight?
I got the next 8 weeks I'm at home. I got knee surgery Tuesday.
Well, we could record them during our break and we just release them after the fact.
Just come back.
I'll fucking hang out with you when I'm not supposed to be podcasting. I love
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oi.
When's your surgery?
Tuesday.
15th?
Yep. And I got a sweet 8 weeks on crutches. I think I'm only flying to one place.
Just on crutches for 8 weeks, only going one place.
Yeah, I got to go to New Hampshire.
Whatever. I'm not even gonna ask why.
It's the Highland Games.
Oh,
I'm going to help him. I'm going to help MC.
you're going to what?
Help run that microphone.
Oh,
Nice.
can you pick me up some
Yeah.
beer while you're there?
It's going to be doubtful.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that.
Yeah, you could.
Whatever. I've come to set the bar low in our friendship.
Nice. I appreciate that.
One-sided at this point.
That's the way I like to live my life. Low expectations is what my Vincent's hoping for.
Lower expectations. Yeah, we'll I'll hit you up like next Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm gonna set a reminder because we all know
You're not going to recall any of this.
Thank you, Corey, for pointing out the fact that everyone already knows it.
Ha! Future Matt. It just says get Matt back on podcast. Go see mom sort life out.
Get shit together.
Yeah.
Talk to Matt about Twilight.
Fuck yeah.
About like we say like
That's the best note you've ever left yourself.
2 p.m. on next Wednesday.
Day after surgery? Probably not.
No. When do you want it then?
Give me the week after surgery.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're so fucking needy.
I'm just looking at a date that I'm gonna actually, when the time comes up, I'll be less likely to say no. I don't fucking feel like doing that right now.
All I'm saying is that I contact
A week post surgery, I'll stick to a schedule.
All I'm saying, all this note is regarding is contacting you regarding setting up dates to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not a week or the day after surgery. We're
Sweet.
expecting you to show
Yeah,
up
shoot
on
me a
here.
text. No stress.
Okay, so Wednesday the 16th, is that good? We'll start talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Okay.
We're gonna fucking Twilight these bitches.
Oh God, I set it for 1 a.m. What the fuck is wrong with me?
That's if you text me at 1 a.m., you're gonna not get a lot of answers.
No, I won't ever text you at 1 a.m. All right, 1
I don't like to be awake.
Me neither. I don't like to be awake at this hour. We are currently recording this. All right. The 16th, you and I will touch tips
I like it.
about Twilight. We'll get
I'm a
that
big
shit
fan of that.
sorted out while you can't walk.
No escape.
Yeah, this is a thing Corey and I do every week. We're taking a 6-week break, probably recording Twilight somewhere between here and there and the other thing.
Next week on a podcast of terror.
I don't know what we're doing next week.
It'll
October.
you can re-listen to this.
Yeah, listen
true.
to this. This will take you until October to listen to, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, just give it another run or go on a longer drive. Maybe take some chances.
Yep. Played at half speed.
Oh, for sure.
Listen to the
Yeah,
champ.
slow it down.
Yep. Do what the champ says. Buy the champ's clothing.
God damn it, Mark Bell's the best. He posted a picture with him and one of the guys from his gym, and it says "Jack Lives Matter."
I emailed him once about sponsoring his podcast, and then when he told me the dollar amounts, and I just kind of tucked my tail between my legs, and I'm like, sorry, I'm fucking poor.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all you need to say is yup.
I mean, I'm not sponsoring his podcast because I can't afford it.
Exactly.
He doesn't need my help.
He doesn't need any of our help.
I'm just stoked to be part of the family.
Like I'm once removed.
There you
Corey and I
go.
are once removed from the old Mark Bell.
Yeah,
If I remove.
yeah. I got a ton of awesome people that I'm once removed from.
One of your fucking boys is all WWE and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I got a couple. I've got a couple now.
Do you? Who else?
Seth Rollins.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he got me in to go see the other doctor that I went to go see to get a second opinion on my knee. Yeah, it was real strange.
Weird. Seth Rollins, big Misery Signals fan. Misery Signals from Milwaukee.
Okay, cool. I haven't brought up any other local famous Louisiana people. Have you noticed that?
No.
Weird Midwesterners.
Oh, fuck. Seth Rollins I don't think he's from the Midwest.
Sure, but you've named other things that are.
Fuck you.
You keep repping at Milwaukee hard. So,
Jealous. But I'm from like not Milwaukee, so I really don't have much. I have Sam Decker, who I fucking love. So exactly.
I got Swamp People.
It's cooler than Sam Decker.
The guy who wrote the first season of the guy who did True Detectives is from Louisiana.
Cooler than Sam Decker.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. You've way more going for you than I do.
Nice. Hell yeah. All right. Let's do this thing.
We could just sit here in silence for like 5 more minutes.
You can't make me.
Nah, I can't make you do shit. We'll let you get out of here. But I don't know how to end this because this isn't like an actual podcast. Because we just do whatever on
Check out High Tension. They got a red and a blue and some Lannisters.
Yeah, Lannisters and Schnazzleblitz. Skizzleblitz. I don't even
Yep.
remember what the hell we scored these things on. Reds,
Lannisters, Starks, and
Yeah.
Targaryens
Yeah.
with a little bit of Ramses thrown in. because Ramses likes to throw a little bit in.
Yeah, he does.
Matt, thanks.
Hey, no worries. It's always fun.
I'll text you in 2 weeks.
I like that.
Fun.
I will be staring at my phone with bated breath.
You're gonna look at your phone and you're gonna be like, "Oh, motherfucker, this guy again."
This guy. Nah, I have only a few. There's definitely some that I've had to just not respond to, and I'm pretty good. I respond very quickly most of the time to anyone.
I will give you that. You're very quick to respond, which means a lot to someone who is a nobody.
Dude, I spent 10 years as a fucking salesman.
I don't blame you one bit. And that's
Like,
why
I
hate
respond.
texting you. I hate texting you because I don't want to be like, I don't want to fucking know the guy.
I treat everything like it's priority number one, and at some point, like if it's not the worst, right? Is it's like getting a text at this point that's like, "Hey, what's up?" Like,
Yeah,
Like-
try and just send you the question.
yeah, no, right, which is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, "Hey, what's up?" Right? There's like 4 people in town here that's an acceptable thing because it probably means we could connect and do something. But like a "Hey, what's up" from a friend who lives in, say, New York, I'm like, the fuck do you mean, "Hey, what's up, man"? Like, who's got time for that?
Let's get to the point here.
Yeah. Let's
All
move
right,
on.
go to bed.
Good night,
Yeah,
and keep your knives close.
Later.
This podcast is sponsored by Gerber Knives. Sharpest knives in the business. They'll cut straight through meat.
Gerber
Pick up your
bacon meat.
knives.
I'm not stopping the
All right.
recording until you-
All right, bye.
Later.
Bye, Matt.
I know we did a really shitty outro already, but we'll do the legitimate one now. You can contact us, but leave us a voicemail at 805-328-3966. You can email us at pot@gncast.com. Excuse me. And you can leave a voicemail at our, you can leave us a message on our website. I don't know. If you listen to this podcast already, you clearly understand that I'm super drunk. But yeah, we want to hear from you because when we come back after our however many week hiatus, we're going to change things up. We're trying to kind of make it a little better for you guys. So we certainly want to hear from you.
And we do want to be clear, we are coming back. We actually already have guests
Mhm.
scheduled.
Mhm.
We have some stuff picked out. We have plans, so we're not going away permanently. And the email's still open. The lines are still open. The webpage, our Facebook page, if you go to look up Podcast with Terror on Facebook, you can find us and communicate with us. We still want to hear from you. We still want to be friends.
Yeah. Like Corey said, we're not going anywhere. This is a lot of work, and we're just taking a little break. Included when we come back, we're going to have Nathan Forsey from Rounds and Breakdowns over on Blazing Caribou, also the singer of my band, Drown the Lifeguard. We're going to have Erica from the Apex and the Abyss podcast, which is a true crime podcast if you're into that. Anthony Rouse, who's a filmmaker, does a lot of horror. He was on. Yeah. We talked about Hostel with him back in June, and then Halloween, kind of our thing. We're going to be talking about The Witch with Jack Bacone from Worst Episode Ever, 90th Percentile. Big fan. We're huge fans of that show, and Jack's a really good friend of ours. So, yeah, we have a lot of shit planned when we come back, but just please know we love you all dearly. I need a fucking break.
And I just need a reason to get up in the morning. So all we're going to ask is please keep subscribed, contact us, and please stay scared.
Yes, and thank you very much for listening to another episode of the podcast here. We'll catch you guys next week. Or in 6 weeks.
This has been a Galactic Network podcast. For more, go to gncast.com. That's GNCASTS.com.